What's up, our PTG fam? Thank you guys so much for tuning into the show. This episode is brought to you by G2 Paintball. G2 Paintball is a paintball athletics company that is designed to make you become a better paintball athlete. Whatever sport it is that you're playing, you need to condition for that activity. If you're playing paintball, you need to train to be a paintball athlete. G2 Paintball has done exactly that. They know what type of movements and physical capabilities your body needs to be able to do in order to maximize your performance on the field. It is owned and operated by our good friends and part of the Dynasty family, Victor Gamboa and Rusty Glaze. And I just encourage you guys to head over to g2paintball.com and check them out and stay tuned because I know they have tons of events coming up in the future. And again, this is stuff we use on Dynasty. I use in my own personal routine, g2paintball.com. Check them out. This show and this episode is also brought to you by Transfuse. I cannot say enough good things about Transfuse. I know you guys have heard Tyler and I talking about it quite a bit lately. It's because we love the product. We truly take it every single day. Sometimes I take 2 of them a day. I'm a huge ingredient snob. Ingredients are very important, and Transfuse nails it on the ingredients. Dehydration is a big deal. A lot of people walk around dehydrated and don't even realize it. Not only does it hurt you in any physical activity, but it also gives you mental fatigue. If you're dehydrated, you are not going to feel like yourself. You're not going to feel like you have energy. Your mental cognition is not as sharp. I personally have suffered from dehydration my entire career. My body sweats a lot. It sweats more than most. When I just go to the gym and do a few activities, I'm drenched in sweat. So I've always had to go above and beyond to make sure that I stay hydrated. Whether that was drinking extra water or drinking Pedialyte or different little packets, or Gatorade. I never really was a big fan of Gatorade because of how much sugar it has. It was always something that I had to battle, and cramps are a real thing, especially in sports. Transfuse has knocked it out of the park for me. I absolutely love this stuff. Again, it's got potassium, magnesium, sodium, your main essential electrolytes. It has coconut water powder, but what I really love about it is it also has some incredibly powerful brain-boosting and immunity-boosting formulas that are more important now than ever, right? A healthy immune system can literally save your life. And, in each Transfuse packet, there's over 1,500 milligrams of vitamin C. To compare it to something like Emergency, which, cures the common cold or helps with the common cold, I should say, that only has 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C. Vitamin C is incredibly important. It also has zinc. Zinc has been proven over and over to shorten the duration of a common cold. It is really good for the immune system. You want zinc in your daily diet. It has vitamin B. Vitamin B is so essential for brain function and cognition, mental clarity. These vitamins are absolutely amazing. They're stuff that I take on a daily basis, and Transfuse makes it extremely easy. It's something that I could just put into one little packet, one little drink, and I can get it down with some water, which is also essential. And I just love this stuff. I know Tyler loves this stuff. Tyler was bragging he was using it at Pro Tour. Definitely helped him there. Transfuse is awesome. It also tastes great. You guys can get a little discount too. You guys can support the show if you guys head over to translabs.com. That's translabs.com and use code PLAYTHEGAME at checkout and you'll get 10% off. Tyler and I would greatly appreciate it. Again, it's a way that you can support the show. Make sure you stay hydrated, keep your brain healthy, keep your immune system healthy, and hopefully you'll get better performance on the paintball field. I know it definitely is a staple in both Tyler and myself's daily routine. So with that said, guys, we have a very special guest today. We saved the last of the 4 horsemen, as they say, of Dynasty. We have Alex Fraige on the show, and as always, he's just an amazing person, both on and off the field. The man has done so much for the game, continues to do a lot for the game, and he truly is just a monumental person in the sport of paintball. So without further ado, we're going to jump in there.
That was an insane inside move by Marcelo Margot. Great communication.
And the crowd starts chanting Harmon.
Great shot by all the guys. So Tyler Harmon saved that game.
Came out with 2 wins. Marcelo Margot was on fire.
Alex Fraige, the one and only, reporting live from his dial-up phone. We got him in the Field One office. How's it going, baby?
Reporting live.
Eggman. Okay, real quick.
Dude.
Anybody who is listening to this podcast, do yourself a major favor and go to the YouTube channel because
Immediately.
Alex is really giving it to us great right now. This is good.
I'm afraid you reporting for duty, sir.
He's got an old school cord phone connected to his laptop because he didn't have headphones, and so we were getting this crazy echo. So he's got this old school phone. This is amazing, man.
If you do not have a touch-tone phone, please remain on the line. If your fingers are too fat to dial, just mash the keypad with your palm.
Dude, we miss you, Alex.
Yeah.
We miss you so much. I feel alive right now. Like just seeing your face and hearing you on this phone, man. You've brought some zest to life today for me. Thank you.
You're welcome, boys. You're welcome.
Oh man, we miss you so much, Eggies. It's been crazy. I know you've been going through it up there in the Bay Area of California. Kind of give us a rundown. What's going on out there?
Yeah, I don't want to get too topical, but yeah, in the as I call it, COVID times, things are just different. It's a little bit rough, but the good news is we're still here building paintball guns and hoping things are gonna loosen up and we'll get back to playing some paintball, which I'm sure we will. So let's just say this is a afterthought, but it certainly puts things into perspective in the way that it makes all other things outside of nature sort of irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
We're nothing compared to nature. That's a reminder. You think you got everything under control, and in fact you don't.
Oh man, and boy, do we not ever. It's been pretty wild, and I have to agree with you. Mother Nature is head honcho. We kind of kneel down at the mercy whenever she tends to, I don't know, like just show the true
whatever
power.
she wants. Yeah. I mean, so our society is really fragile. This is showing it for sure. It's
microscopic
so
germs.
Dude, you've been talking about these for forever.
Can't see them. Didn't you ever read War of the Worlds? That's what got the aliens. They came down here that thought they're going to own us, but nope. Little germs in the water killed them all.
Yeah, dude. And you gave me the best advice of all time. You would just tell me, stay inside. What are you doing out there? Stay inside.
It's true. Nothing good out there.
Yeah.
I was talking to this homeless guy the other day, and he was telling me, like, if you're 10 miles from your house, you're up to no good.
He knows. He knows.
Like, yeah, it's kind of something to that. Yeah.
Yeah, true, man. Yeah, and what's it been like? Because you're in the heart of the city. You used to live in the city. You're now in the suburbs. But what is the vibe like in the San Francisco city right now?
It's crazy. There's not many people on the streets. Just, it was like a ghost town for a little while. And then, the protests, people in San Francisco are super passionate about issues like that. So everyone took to the streets, which was awesome. Until they started smashing up buildings and stuff or stores, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's for a good cause. People are inside buying HK on their computers. That's all I know. That's what I've been doing.
Amen to that, dude. Buy HK. Everybody out there, log in hkarmy.com. Get you some.
If you've already bought some, buy it again.
Yeah, that's the motto. That's the new motto we have is buy HK again. Yeah. Hashtag buy HK again. Let's get that going.
And there's Field One. Have some fun. I'm still dialing that in. But,
I like that. I like that a lot.
You want to have fun? Buy Field One.
There we go.
One, have some fun.
We'll work on it.
Yeah. Hashtag Field One for fun.
Buy Field One and have some fun.
Buy Field One. Never give up.
Okay, he's got Alex is holding up this epic drawing of a bird eating a frog, and the frog is choking the bird, saying, "Don't ever give up."
Yeah, that's heavy right there.
It's pretty awesome. Definitely go to our YouTube channel, play the game, and check this out on the YouTube. And you can see Alex's amazing phone that he has right now. It's literally an old dial-up phone that he's plugged into his computer. He's reporting live.
I can't hear you guys if I take it off from you.
And he's wearing my Woods Ball jersey backwards, which is just.
I wanted to give a shout out to you, dude. You're my guy, and I got my Tyler Harmon playing card right here.
There we go. We love you, man. And he's got the F1 banners flying. He's got some trophies from 2001 in the picture here. I can see.
Throwing it back.
Let it be known.
Sanitizer.
9%
alcohol right here.
That's pure.
Nah, it keeps it fresh. Ooh, stings the eyes a little bit.
He just sprayed himself in the face.
Damn. Well, Eggman, dude, Tyler and I were talking, and you are, the favorite and the best of the four horsemen. We've had Yosh, Ryan, and Yosh, Oliver, and Ryan on already, and we had to save the best for last. We've heard quite a bit about the stories of how you guys all met, which is super interesting. It was a lot of stuff Tyler and I both didn't know. We both got off the call after Yosh told the story, and we're like, whoa, we had no idea it was like that. It was, you guys kind of had a little battle against each other growing up. Which is cool, but just kind of want to talk about how you got into paintball and how, from your perspective, how that all started.
I don't really remember.
You got a memory like an elephant, dude. I know you remember.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. So yeah, I'm sure the stories are a little bit, are probably mostly the same, but a little bit of details are different based on, who's telling it. So, yeah, I mean, just like any 13-year-old, I wanted to play tag in the woods with my friends, and what better form of doing that than in paintball is kind of a glorified version of that. So, I'd heard there was a paintball field out by where I live. So, buddy of mine took me out, and actually, I think I was already friends with Oliver, but hadn't really gotten to be really good friends with him yet. So we went out to the field and played, and it was Halloween. I didn't shoot anybody all day. It was a, pretty much miserable experience, but it was, also really fun and exhilarating.
How did you deal with all the germs out there at a paintball field?
No, I don't think I was afraid of germs yet. Yeah. Paintball's a good social distancing game too, actually, because you're pretty removed from people.
That's right. Absolutely. And I think that you hit on something that's really cool is like everybody plays tag when they're a kid. It's like, whether you realize it or not, you're kind of playing paintball, which is pretty interesting.
For sure. So went out and with my dad, and, it's kind of a bonding experience for me and him. And I still go back to those memories as being really positive and really good. My parents were getting divorced at the time, and just remember getting to go out with my dad and load up in his 77 Bronco every weekend with my buddies and him, and we go out and play paintball. And really, those are still some of the fondest memories I have about playing. So, Oliver and I became friends. We started a team. There's a guy out there who's now involved with Team Dynasty and also Field One, who I really have to hand a lot of credit to for being a part of this story and helping things end up where they are now, is Eric Crandall. And he kind of brought us all together, not only by owning the paintball field, but also kind of nurturing, what we are all about now. So went out, ended up, not really knowing there was tournaments yet. Like we just kind of were doing it for fun. No aspirations to go be a pro or anything like that, because we didn't really know it existed. So first tournament we heard of was the Mare Island Cup, which is honestly a local tournament. And we thought that was as far as it reached. Oh, there's a tournament. Okay, we'll play in it. I had no idea there was national tournaments yet. Right. But we just love playing. So we're all right, we'll do it. So the team was me, a couple buddies, and my dad and Oliver. And we got killed. I think Ryan's team beat us pretty badly, but we weren't friends with those guys yet. There were just these other punks at the field, and we're like, oh, there's those guys. And I feel like they weren't out there as much as us. They'd come out on the big weekends, but Oliver and myself and my dad were out there every weekend, rain or shine, just mucking it up. Right.
Yeah.
So then, we ended up kind of crossing paths with those guys because they were our same age, and if they were out there the same weekend, we'd usually be on different teams and be like, oh, we wouldn't even talk to him. We'd be like, oh, it's that guy, that weasel faced guy who turns up his gun and his Japanese friend. So that was the story. So
damn it, Yosh.
So so yeah, we were kind of adversaries via the Mare Island Cup until Eric Crandall was like, okay, you guys are all decent little players and all around the same age. So he brought us down to a tournament together. And obviously once you get to know somebody, you tend to have more in common with them than differences. So, we were really different versions of each other. Yeah. And around the same age, and we all became friends, and sort of the rest is history.
literally
was,
history. I mean, Dynasty is what you guys created and built is unprecedented, has never been done again. It hasn't. Tyler and I were talking about this. I don't know if it's been done in any sport ever. You know, the accomplishments Dynasty has and the way you guys did it as a group of friends. So, I mean, yeah, history was definitely, the rest is history for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys have a piece too. So, I mean, it all came down to, I mean, I looking back at it, I attribute the success to one thing, and that's like the love of playing the game, right? The love of playing the game. Parentheses podcast. But
That's
but
right.
yeah,
That's
I mean,
why.
really, you know, it didn't come down to practice or, you know, wanting to win or trying to level up. It just came down to love, the love of doing it. And I mean, you know, the story is, you know, we kind of all went our separate ways for a while, and you know, each guy had his own motivation, and the different teams pulled different guys different directions, and you know, everyone's got their own path. So that's something that I learned, you know, later on the hard way, and learned to accept that, you know, I at least I think I have control of myself. I like to believe that I do, and then, you know, everybody
Yeah.
else is everybody else.
Yeah. And you're right, Alex, you know, and each path is honored, you know, who are we to judge anything really? But yeah, it was crazy for a while. And, you know, Dynasty's history is obviously decorated. You guys are the most winningest paintball team. And, you know, we playing for the organization in the history of paintball. And it all came from the love of the game, dude. You guys loved paintball more than anybody else. And that's what gave you guys the creativity to create these new moves and blow open these huge opportunities that you guys took full advantage of. That's the other thing, is you guys weren't, you know, it's not luck. You guys were in the moment and you were capturing those things, creating that.
Yeah, it was a combination of timing and location, and you know, all these kind of things that came together. I mean, I remember going over to Europe, and all 7 of us would break out running and shooting, and the Europeans were like, "Sacre bleu, that's impossible! You cannot run and shoot at the same time." Like it was like that, you know, like that type of those type of leaps in
totally
in the paradigm of how tournament paintball was played.
What's the next leap right now, Alex? We need to reinvigorate the sport. We need to recreate things. What's the next technical or hoverboards out there?
No, I don't think we need to reinvent anything, man. We just need to nurture who we are, and I feel like it's good, natural type of thing with this Ghost Sports thing going, and I feel like the league is healthy and consistent. I mean, it's maybe not as exciting and new, but you know, again, I don't have the answers. It's just
I'm talking about playing, dude.
playing?
I'm talking about playing, yeah. You know, like you guys were the first to run and shoot, so you were dominating everybody. What do we got to do? Tyler said hoverboards. I kind of like that idea.
Oh yeah,
if we had hoverboards out there.
I don't, no goggles. Yeah, I don't know.
Don't listen to that at home, kids.
Raise the stakes. Raise the stakes. No, I'm just kidding. Wear your goggles. Yeah. No, I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like, as far as physical ability and technical ability, like that's it. I don't see that getting much better. I mean, there's guys that, you know, have polished those things to, you know, the point where they're just not going to get any better. I mean, unless you get like guys like Ray Lewis and Steph Curry out there that are physically superior. But then again, you know, it's just, you know, maybe they're not that good at paintball. I mean, even though they're faster, it's, you know, maybe they're bigger, or, you know, it's, you got to get the paintball muscles in tune. I don't know.
Dude, and you're hitting on something there, Alex. Sometimes I always say, like, sometimes guys are too fast in paintball or something. Like, it's really about timing. Like, if you're a little bit slower than how they normally are shooting for a player that's like running at that normal speed, and you're behind that, it might be perfect for you.
Yeah, I don't know how relevant that is these days, but it was. It's called the Opie theory, because Opie was a front guy on our team, but he was so slow. And by the time you were done sweet spotting, you're like, oh, no one's going to the snake, and then you'd stop shooting, and then here would come Opie like waddling in, and you're like, fuck, snake.
That's how long ago that was. You guys are still calling it sweet spotting.
Yeah. Sweet spotting.
Dude, and he still calls his pods guppies. You know,
don't run into my sweet spot.
Yeah. Throw me a guppy, Tyler. Yeah. Give me a guppy.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, it was, you know, it's a beautiful story, and I look back on it with, you know, a lot of fond memories, and getting to know the different guys and different personalities, and putting it all into perspective. Really, I don't even look at the tournament results or winning and losing and any of that stuff. I look at the people I've met along the way and the journeys that we've had, and especially something like Tim Montrosser passing, like that puts it all into perspective, right? Like you've got a thing where you meet all these people and then you go and you hate each other for 10 minutes on the field, and then you're all go back to your lives, but you share this common thread. I mean, I would have never been friends with you guys if it wasn't for paintball. I mean, I always like to use myself and Johnny Perchek as an example. Like, we share very little in common. Like, he's a jock, I'm a nerd. He's a Republican, I'm a Democrat. Like, it's all these things that we're completely polar opposites on, and we just would not be friends in real life if it wasn't for paintball. But he's one of my best friends. So how the hell does that work?
Well, paintball's magic, dude. There's magic in paintball. All the people we've been able to meet, the places we've been able to go. Our relationship, dude, the relationship I have with you, Alex, is literally like the crown jewel of everything. Like, you're the funniest guy in the world, and you always have such great energy and help people in any way you can. It's an amazing thing to have you still pushing the boundaries in the industry with Field One Paintball and with Dynasty. You're one of the owners of Dynasty, and you guys are still continuing to progress after this is the 20th year, correct?
Well, we are continuing to progress, but yeah. You guys, that's a Ryanology,
Yeah.
You guys need to shoot better. Yeah, we do, Ryan. You're part of the team too. So yeah, well, those words mean a lot. Thank you very much.
You're one of the owners. I'm not an owner. I'm just a pawn. I just go out there and I do my job. And
the only difference is you get to make a little bit of money and I get to lose a little bit of money.
Well, I think you're losing a lot.
Yeah, but what it's about is, like, you touched on it. It's about the climb, right? Like, you look back at anything in life, and it's not the winning of the tournament; it's the journey of the tournament to get there, right? And you can look at the career too. Like, when I look back at my paintball career, I look at the climb and the hard parts, and those were the most, for lack of a better term, most memorable and enjoyable times. The hard times, the uncertain times, right? So that's what makes it valuable, and that's what builds your character. So and now I feel like, obviously I'm still trying to accomplish that through the team, but now I'm also trying to accomplish it through the company for the team. So that will hopefully be able to one day, we'll be able to own our own deal and sail our own ship and do it the way we want to do it. And that's kind of the way we started the team, right? The team Dynasty is like, we were not at the mercy in the very beginning of, any, guarantor or big sponsor or whatever. But yeah, I mean, that's, and that's one of the things that I want to have for the team. And really, I'm worried about, Ryan and Yosh and Oliver and all you guys in being able to secure, a monetary stable future. And this type of thing, if we can get it to be successful, will transcend, what we're able to do on the field.
And would you say that, I know that we've been sponsored by tons of companies. Dynasty and its heritage has been sponsored by a bunch of companies. Would you say that was a contributing factor to starting Field One so that you can be self-sustaining, or did you guys just want to have a gun company?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it was the most natural fit, and also it's the most important piece of equipment. So, we want to get behind something that, we could, believe in and contribute to the design of, and then, put it in the hands of our guys and then be successful with it. So again, it's a new thing for us, and we're a small company, but, we're trying to do it right.
Yeah. And you guys are, man. The gun shoots phenomenal in all conditions. I know Marcelo will vouch for that. He was out in Europe in Slopfest 2019, and they held up out there.
Yeah, no, I mean, for our first shot, it's doing good. I mean, we have a long way to go, which, we'll make developments and progressions just like any paintball company does. But I think we're in a good place. And your guys' guns turned out great, especially Marcelo's. I can't believe Ryan copied your design.
I know.
Dude, they all copied me.
That.
Hold on.
He does that quite a bit.
They all copied me. Ryan copied me first, and then it leaked out. He was like, "Whoa, look at that."
Well, we all know Ryan doesn't have any original thoughts, so yeah.
Dude, get him. We love you, Ryan. Yeah, I can't wait to get the gang back together, dude. It's been way too long. It's been crazy.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, the beginning of the story was me and Oliver versus Ryan and Yosh. We became friends and, started playing these little amateur tournaments together, started doing really well. And then, some of us were better than others according to different teams. So Ryan was the first guy. He got picked up by Out of Control in 1998 and played World Cup with them and won, I think, as amateur or maybe novice. Either way, they played together, and then we all played together on like a chump throw together team that Eric Crandall threw together, and we did okay. We like made Sunday, and then that was it. And then after that, let's see, I think Oliver went to Out of Control next year with Ryan. So it was Ryan and Oliver versus me and Yosh. So that it got mixed up a little bit. And the only reason was the perception was Ryan and Oliver were better players. So that 10-man team made room for them. And so me and Yosh, and I kind of was always like this in my career as a person. Like I always was like never picked for the team.
Yeah.
So I always just had to do a little bit better on my own. And then prove it in as an underdog.
I mean, that builds character too, and
sure.
and if
Yeah.
you play
I didn't get discouraged. Like I wasn't like, oh, they got Oliver, instead, me and Yosh went and played on this team called the Diggers and got some other local guys. And we ended up the one time we played them, I think we may have beat them. I don't really remember, but that was a thing, right? Like we wanted to do good in the tournament, but we also really wanted to beat them.
Yeah. Dude,
and that's how it was with me and Oliver on the Ironman too. Like when I went to a tournament, like I didn't care if I won the tournament. I just wanted to beat Oliver. That was it. And if I didn't get to beat Oliver, I wanted him to lose. I had to say that. I'm not gonna deny my I'm not gonna shove my feelings down.
Dude, hey, thank you for the honesty. The listeners appreciate that. And shout out to the Diggers. I remember being a kid and having those clunky shoes, dude. They were the biggest, heaviest shoes ever. And that was part of the team that you were a part of, right? That's where those came from.
Yeah, that's right. They were paintball shoes, and Stewie. Gosh, I'm blanking on his last name. Anyway, but him and his dad owned the company, and they made the shoes, and that's how we founded the team. And actually, we had a good link to. That's how we got in good with Bob Long's Ironman, is because Damon, Bob Long's son-in-law at the time, played on our team, and then we practiced Bob's team. So that's we got a lot of really good practice in with those guys. So there was that year, and then I think the next year was when Oliver went to the Ironman. So, I didn't really play with Oliver that much in the beginning of our career. I mean, we played on the Iron Kids and stuff, but that was just the local Great Western Series tournaments, and those were the funnest ones, and that's how we all met each other.
Yeah.
But so Oliver went after the Diggers. We did 1 year as Cap Factory, and that's when Oliver was on the Ironman. So we all got to play together, minus Oliver, I think in 99, maybe no, sorry, 2000. 2000, we all got to play together, and we won the World Cup as amateurs. So Ryan won novice in 98, amateur in 99, and then
pro 2001.
Pro 2001, yeah. So no, sorry, that's wrong. Yeah, I think we missed a year in between. I don't know. Either way, he won all three in all different brackets in 10-man, in consecutive years, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So
that's climbing the ranks right there.
Yeah,
he did
and Oliver, Oliver, once he learned about pro paintball, he's like, that I gotta be on the Ironman. He looked up to that. He wanted to be that. Like he went after that.
Yeah.
And I kind of I was the opposite. I was like, I don't like that. I don't like those guys. I like my guys. I don't want to do it my way.
Feel that way.
So, So
absolutely.
So anyway, at the end of that year, the Cap Factory year, we were going to just call it quits. I was going to maybe go play on the Ironman. Oliver had been there and he'd been talking me up, and, I knew they didn't think I was that good of a player. So I was kind of going to be like bench guy or whatever. And they had still, all the old guys were relevant and playing. I mean, eventually I would have probably been up through the ranks. And I think they ended up picking up Yosh instead of me, cause I didn't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ryan was going to go be on Avalanche, cause he had that kind of mentality. He wanted to be that guy like Lasoya.
Yeah.
I was kind of like his dream at the time was to go be on Avalanche.
Yeah.
And he had a spot, I remember. And I remember BC coming up to me, one of the core group of guys, and said, "Hey, what am I going to do?" He's like the back snake corner guy. Nobody give a shit about him, even though he was like one of the cornerstones of the team, right? Totally. And 10-man, you need guys that do certain things to make it work.
Yeah, that's right.
So BC said, "What am I going to do?" I said, "Dude, I don't know. We could try to keep it together." So I talked to Chuck Hench, who I think was working at JT at the time, and I'm like, dude, we have this really good team. It's going to break up if we don't, get a sponsor and provide something. So he said, okay, I can get Rodney Squires, and we got Brad Mon, and we got Chuck, and I think Glenn Forrester ended up coming on, and we got all the guys that didn't get picked up. So Yosh bailed, and me and Ryan were like, I was like, dude, Ryan, you gonna stick it out or what? And he didn't go. He didn't take the deal. He didn't do it. So he stuck
Good.
with us. And
Yeah, I gotta say, man, Ryan, as much shit as we give him, he has had so many deals over the years, and he has stayed true to blue. Totally stayed loyal to Dynasty. Maybe you guys have some different stories. I don't know, but it sounds like that's kind of been his whole career, and you got to commend him for that.
Huge shout out to all those guys. All the guys that you just named off are rock stars. Like that whole squadron, we get to play 10 men with them and hang out with them, and just the best dudes ever.
Yeah, and I feel like we were kind of like at the beginning of Dynasty, we're like the rejects, right? Like the guys that didn't get picked up.
That's awesome.
And then Ryan was the guy that was going to get picked up. And he is loyal, man. I will say that, he's been loyal to the team and loyal to me as a friend personally. Yeah. Unless you're, at a bar with him trying to pick up a chick, he'll come right under you like a mamba. Yeah.
I was just talking about
finally in with a girl at the bar, and here comes Ryan, dude. If he's not getting anybody, nobody is.
The Mamba, dude. Mamba mentality. R.I.P. Yeah. Ryan is a legend, and that's pretty funny that you say that, because that turned into what became the legacy and the beginning of Dynasty's heritage.
Yeah, and I really think it's weird because it's one decision like that based on thinking outwardly instead of inwardly, right? Mm-hmm. Like Ryan wasn't like, oh, best for Ryan is go play on Avalanche. Whereas Oliver always, I feel like most of the time will think like that, right? He thinks inwardly, what's the best for Oliver, which I get, a lot of people are like that, and that's how you become successful in a lot of ways, right?
Yeah.
There's a combination,
totally.
But it's kind of the antithesis, right? And you can be successful doing both things. Mm-hmm. You're and being in a relationship. I mean, this, you're married. You've got to think about your family before you think about yourself.
Absolutely.
But a lot of people in their family think about themselves before they think about their family, and both can work. Mm-hmm. But it's a kind of an interesting balancing act there.
I was going to say there is a fine balance there that you have to manage 100%.
Yeah. And it's definitely something that, you got to work on. It has to be something that is on the forefront of your mind. And I know, Alex, you've always cared for others, and you're such a tremendous human in that regard. We could just get into you and your normal day life in the city and how nice you just do nice things. You're just a nice person all around.
Thanks. And yeah, I mean, that is kind of, the team started because we wanted it to stick together.
Yeah.
Not because we wanted to do what was best for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's the way I feel about the company too, right? Like everybody's an equal owner. Same with the team. Everyone gets paid the same. Like it's the way that I feel like is the right way.
Yeah.
And that's everyone has an equal piece.
Absolutely.
So
very
yeah,
democratic of you.
Yeah. It is, but it's also not. I mean, that's one of the misconceptions people have about our country, is that it's democratic. It's not. It's a constitutional republic. Mm-hmm. And, we're supposed to follow the rules of the Constitution, and we just use a democratic system for electing our officials, and that's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the team really isn't that much of a democracy. I mean, everybody's opinion is factored into a situation, but I feel like a lot of the meaningful stuff is worked out in a natural way, like who's on the team, what the game plan is going to be. Like, I don't feel like there's too much conflict at the end of resolution, right? In hindsight, of course there is. We should have looked left, not right. But, in the moment, I feel like, especially recently, we've come to an understanding that, okay, this is the way we're going to do it, and that's what we're going to live with.
Mm-hmm. True. Yep. And we live or die on the sword, right? That's how we've been doing it. And obviously the sword has been pretty sharp for the last couple of years, and we got to dial in and get this W here coming up.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say we're an elite team, but we're not a top 2 team. Yeah. We have to do better. And I mean, it's just, that's a personal struggle I have too. Over the past few years, I've been really kind of hopeful that I personally, and Yosh and Ryan even are able to step back and let the younger guys, for lack of a better term, take over the team. You know what I mean? But I know I've still got a lot left in the tank. And another problem is once we get a lot of times guys through the team that, we groom and then they bail. So then, and then it's usually in a spot where I'm like, okay, yeah, and that's going to be me again,
Yeah. Well,
which I love playing. I love playing. Don't get me wrong, but I am, I do struggle personally with confidence with, and this is what isn't an all-time thing. It's just because I'm older and maybe I don't care less or I don't care as much, but I do, I want to win, but personally, like I don't care about myself as much in that moment.
Well, I just
so
want to give you some faith here. You're looking at Alex and Ryan right here in your screen, the two of us. We're not going anywhere,
No, I love that. And we have a great team right now. Like I love the guys on our team. I love the core and we have everything we need to win. It just comes down to, execution and decision making and following your instincts versus doing the right thing for that plan. It all has to come together, right? And I feel like it really was coming together in 2015 at the end, and then we lost a bunch of those guys.
Yeah.
Like that's right when we were going to start to make our push, right? And you could feel it coming together right then. And then we lost guys to different teams, whatever it was. I don't even remember.
Yeah, and it's like almost a yearly thing with us. I mean, I've been a part of the team this is my 8th year. And it's just something that I've observed being in the organization for that amount of time. And I know that you've seen, fold on fold of that on your time because you've been with the organization since the beginning. And you guys have had how many players?
I don't know. It's right here. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's like I think 70 something. Yeah,
And you even have Tim's signature on there.
Yeah, Tim Montrosser just got it.
That was when you guys did the merge, the Dynapact, right? To put over in Europe.
Yeah. So there's a row of teams that we did an Arsenal Dynasty team and a Dynasty Impact team over in Europe one year when neither team wanted to foot the bill for the whole trip. So we combined our forces and went over as kind of like an American all-star team. But it was great. It's great learning to play with those guys and we teach them all of our secrets and then they bring it back to their team and come beat us in the States.
That's how it typically goes. And what was your time like with Tim out there when you were playing that?
Oh, I mean, I've known Tim for far beyond that, before that. I remember one of the very first clinics we did. This was probably in like 2002 or 3, going to Detroit at this indoor field called Future Ball. And I met Tim. That's when it was me and Oliver, and we met Tim and Jason Trojan. And actually, I think that might have been when the Yakmek boys came to our clinic, and they were like, 10.
Wow,
that's crazy. Wow.
And Tim and Jason were there, and we played with Tim and Jason the night before the clinic because they weren't in the clinic. They were like, running shit up there at the time. And it was a grind, and we just ground down and went and hung out with them. And ever since then, Tim is one of those guys that was just, friends with everybody. Yeah. And, even though you played against him, he was always like that guy you hugged afterward in the handshake line, even if there was bad blood or an ugly match or whatever, you were always like, giving Tim a hug. So, what a guy, man. I mean, really, and he transcended the game itself by, starting that tournament and making kind of this grassroots revival of 10-man paintball, which is, again, one of the funnest times in paintball for me, right? I mean,
me too. I love it
because it was new. When it's new, it has that kind of that lustrous like panache that you don't have any. Like I don't have it anymore. Like the last couple of years of paintball, like not a couple of years, the last like 10 years. Like you asked me what happened at this tournament about a layout, like dude, I don't know. But if you ask me what happened in 1999, it's in there.
I have been very curious what you thought of the Vegas layout.
That's like a running joke that we have on the team. We always say, "Hey guys, what do you think about this layout?"
Yeah, right.
Alex says nobody's allowed to ask him.
Yeah, I do have PTSD from that layout because I went out to David's Field the other weekend and they still had that layout set up.
No.
I'm like, really? Yeah. Me and Yosh were like talking about how to play it. I'm like, dude, don't talk to me. Go over there.
Yeah. So, hey, Eggies, what do you think? They canceled the ICC. Obviously, that's big news right now. What are your thoughts on all that? Obviously, we have to do that. The news just came out that Tim actually had, the virus, COVID. Not sure if that played any role in what happened, but they had to shut down the ICC, and it's a bummer, obviously.
Yeah, I mean it's big boy shit. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
we're talking about running around and playing tag with paintball guns. You know,
yeah,
this is Mother Nature and something that's, you know, a massive blow to the world, you
yeah,
know, as far as health and economy and all these things. I mean, you can debate it this way or that, but the reality is people are dying and, you know, people are getting really sick and we don't
yeah,
really know yet very much about it. So,
yeah,
you know, the best thing to do is be cautious, and if being cautious works, then everyone's going to say, "Oh, we were too cautious. See, nothing happened."
yeah,
But then if it's the other way around, you know, who knows?
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
no, it's certainly uncertain times, and again, like puts everything into perspective, right? Like, what is winning when you go to a paintball tournament? Is it
Getting home.
winning the tournament? Is it if you win the tournament and get first place and you make zero friends and everybody hates you?
Yeah.
Are you winning? But if you get last place, but you meet 100 people and you all become great friends, and you know
Yeah.
you know learn things and figure out how to improve as a person, then did you win? I don't
Mhm.
know. Like
Yeah.
you know, what are you doing it for, right? What does it all
Yeah.
Balance.
mean?
That's right.
Balance. You want to try to find a way to do both of those things.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And when I go to
Hmm.
a paintball tournament, in my mind, I'm like, F the other guy down on that side of the field, you
Hmm.
Yeah.
know, during the game, obviously.
Yeah.
Right. But
Yeah.
then when I feel like in the past few years, when I get off the field, I'm like, dude, the stakes are not high enough out here to
Yeah.
like not to hate somebody because they cheated
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Right. Like, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
so whatever.
Yeah, and you're right. It's perspective, man, and it's holding that line sight view of what's really important. Really, like, what are we doing this for? And I think that you hit it on the head. It's like happiness, right? At the end of the day, if you're doing something and you're miserable, sometimes that has to be done. But
Yeah.
you know, it's about happiness.
Well, that's the real value of what I've gained from being paintball is meeting guys like you and guys on other teams and people that are really, you know, genuine, nice people. Like, dude, I hate the Iron Man, right? But I like the guys on the team.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know, I just don't like the team,
yeah,
right?
Right.
yeah.
So,
Of
but
course, yeah,
so it's kind of a weird thing. But really, one of the big reasons I do it still is because of the peace within the game, right? So, like when you're playing the game, when you're playing the game, parentheses podcast, you then are tuned out of everything else that's going on. Just like if you're riding your mountain bike or you're going skiing or you're in the middle of a golf swing, you're not thinking about anything else than being in the present. And that's what freedom is, right? Freedom or true love is being in that totally peaceful state of mind. If you're screaming and yelling, oh my God, he's in the snake 50, I'm not like, oh my God, what's for dinner? You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, so, so
Yeah. It is an escape of reality. It is, man.
well, yeah,
Completely.
but it's a truest, it's the most pure form of being alive is living in the
Yeah,
moment, and it's hard to not live in the moment when, you know, you're trying to, you know, not get shot.
Yeah, fight or flight
totally.
is activated the entire time, and so you're reacting to the moment. You're in the moment. Yeah, paintball's a great. You could even call it a form of meditation, right? You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, I guess it's not so much an escape from reality as much as it is creating reality in the purest form in those moments, like it's just pure creation is what it feels like.
Yeah, it's a pretty profound way to look at it.
Yeah. It's amazing, man.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would say escapism is something else.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's just pure creation. I feel like an artist, like with a paintbrush with my gun, and like you get into the flow state and you start, clicking, everything starts falling together. And then that's when, paintball magic happens. You win tournaments.
Yeah, you look like an artist out there. What would you say? I mean, you know, there are artists that do pointillism, abstract artists, realism artists, you
Hmm.
know, modern artists,
Yeah.
traditional artists, classical. So what do you think you're, you know, a guy who does, you know,
Yeah.
cubism isn't going to be a great realistic painter, maybe,
Yeah.
but depends how good he
I
is.
I think my style is like a Pollock meets a Picasso, let's say.
Both pretty messy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely a messy
I guess
painter.
Picasso wasn't messy, but he was disjointed. But he was also a master artist. He could do it
Yeah.
both. But his
Yeah.
famous stuff is, you know, very, you know, disjointed and you know, postmodern. But
Yeah.
I will say that, you know, you are athletically probably one of the most gifted guys out there. Um, which, obviously isn't going to hinder you unless you lean on that. Like, oh, I'm just better than this guy, so I'm going to play it like that. That can kill you sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Because hubris can knock you down in that type of situation.
Mm.
I think the opposite of you. I think even though I know that I can beat him on skill, or I have a good chance to, or at least it's a 50-50, I'm going to say, how can I beat him in a different way that I have a better percentage of winning, right?
Mm-hmm.
So imagine that I just am not as good as that guy physically.
Yeah.
Like in my head, I'm saying that, and I'm going, okay, how can I do it? If I can't beat him this way, how can I beat him this way? So I think that's a really important factor in the Sunday type of paintball where, skill sets are more or less equal.
Yeah.
You've got to figure out a different way to do it.
Wow.
And I think people need to look inwardly, as a player to figure out how to do that as a player and how to do that as a team.
Yeah, I was just gonna say,
Yeah.
as a team, especially too on Sunday, there might be teams you match up with where they might beat you a certain way, but if you can find out how to kind of put a stop to that and beat them in, something that might be one of their weaknesses, or exploit them, maybe it's on a certain layout. I know you don't like to talk about layouts too much, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was
What would you guys
absolutely.
say? What would you guys say are your weaknesses?
First of all, I just want to say that was a profound statement that you made about the game right there. I really think that that's something that could drive our organization even further by having that conversation with everybody. But I would have to say my weakness sometimes is communication. I get caught up in the game, and I won't throw that one little kernel of knowledge that I know because I'm about to go get another guy or do something like that. When I just got to throw it, you just got to throw it. I would say that.
Yeah, and it's funny when you were talking about the balance and the stakes aren't high enough out there to be so serious. Sometimes I was going to so this is perfect timing to bring it up, but I need to let it fly a little bit more. I mean, it's no secret. You've been on me about that for a little while now, Alex. Sometimes I like to be a little too disciplined and I miss opportunities. I think a big part of having more fun out there really has helped me just kind of drop the shoulders and let it fly and trust instincts. And, sometimes it doesn't work, but when it does work, you actually look like a superhero, and it's so funny that those end up being some of the best moves. And I'm like, I literally guessed, sure. It's an educated guess. I've been doing it a long time and I have a lot of information that I'm taking in and processing, and you feel like it's an instinctual thing, but instincts are actually, very accurate learned reactions, and you just got to learn to trust them a little bit more. And you might not be 100% of the time that it pays off, but again, when it does pay off, it can be really big.
And
so
Eggies, you're one of the best at that, dude. With the instinct, like you sometimes you just take off. Oh, field one.
I'll let that go.
There we go.
So now for our YouTubers, Alex is in the office. He is live from Field 1 headquarters on
a phone call.
Yeah, a dial-up phone. He literally has a phone to his ear in this broadcasting right now. This is the first time ever for Play the Game. And I think it might be the only one.
And I will say, I didn't like the name Play the Game at first, but now I do.
Yay, there we go.
Yeah, because you see it a lot, it's like something you just say in a lot of stuff. And actually, I was thinking about you. I was watching this show on Netflix called Home Game. Have you seen that?
No.
It just came out. It's awesome. So it's just about these different games that they play in certain societies and countries that are like historic games. Like they have one in Florence called Calcio Storico, and it's like this combat game where it's like a mixture of like rugby and ultimate fighting. And then there's one in Scotland that's the Highlander games, and they like have to throw stones. And then like the American one, of course, is roller derby. But I mean, again, it made me think about paintball because a lot of these guys are elite athletes that play these things and nobody gets paid.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like none of the like free diving, like, the Filipino free divers, like they're not getting paid, but they're committing their life to doing it. Yeah. And we get a little bit of money in paintball, but relatively speaking, it's not much.
Yeah, totally.
So I was thinking about you guys when I was watching that. Go check it out if you haven't. It's interesting.
For sure. And you said that the American game, his roller derby. I had no
I mean,
clue.
they didn't say like, oh, that's the American game, but like that's the one they chose to highlight out of Austin.
That's awesome. I got to see that. See these people just getting laid out on rollerblades.
Yeah, it's all ladies actually. All ladies.
Oh, whoa!
Hosting, yeah.
There we go, ladies.
Except for X Factor, they let them play.
Let them have it, eggs. Let them have it.
If you guys could be on another pro team, what would it be? What would you go for?
Does Dynasty still have a feeder team?
Huh?
I said, does Dynasty still have a feeder
no, come on,
team?
Don't circumvent the question. Just if Dynasty never existed.
It'd be Russian Legion.
Dude, you were good when you were on that team.
Thanks. I think
well, you're still hella good. You're still hella good, but I remember you being really good. Like I was like, that's the first time I know you're on the Ironman and stuff. And yeah, I remember you winning a 1-on-1 maybe World Cup like 2007. I'm like, damn, that was like clutch. And then after that, you went to Russian Legion, and that's really when you realized that you had to do it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
The team's not going to do it for you. I mean, I know when you're on the Ironman at that point with Oliver and all those studs, like, you were part of the team, of course, and you knew that you had to make it happen, but you also kind of leaned on the team more than you did when you were on the Russians.
Yeah, I was a small part of a big machine, and I was a kid. I was like 17, 18 years old. And yeah, absolutely. When I played with the Russians, that organization, I can't say enough good things about them, honestly. Just the way they run everything was really good for me because I like that structure. It truly is ran like a professional organization. So I really enjoyed playing with them. And if Dynasty weren't around, they would probably be my other choice.
I bet you're probably the only pro player that would play with those guys. If you let's do a poll on that at the next tournament. How many guys want to be on the Russian Legion?
Yeah.
And they don't know.
He's already lived it and he liked it, so he'd definitely go back. I would have to say it'd probably be X Factor, just because they remind me the most of Dynasty. They're like the other Dynasty to me.
They are totally.
They're a fun team.
Yeah.
Marcel was like, if you go back to school, what would your favorite subject be? He's like, I wish every class was math. It's like saying you want to play with the Russian Legion. Yeah.
So funny because I hated math.
Algebra. I wish I could just do algebra all day.
Definitely not taking any English classes.
Yeah.
I told Alex is wearing Marcelo's jersey in his interview. He's
starting to sweat.
Yeah, it's heating up. What about you, Eggies? What would your favorite team be to play for?
Oh God, I don't know. Probably Impact because I get money. No,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Impact kind of has that vibe too. Like they like to have. I mean, they take it seriously, but also like to have a lot of fun. Probably Impact or X Factor.
Yeah, when I played for Impact, dude, it was a great time. Like the guys had fun, and it felt like a great organization. It's just me and Dave Baines were on the team together from the Sacramento area, and then I made more moves. I played with a couple different teams in between Bob's and all that.
Or just try to go on like a bad team and try to make them better.
There we go.
That would be fun too.
Yeah. Imagine the clout after that.
Yeah. And I mean, that's like an Oliver thing, right? Like that's his, that's his strength, right? Like he could take any team and make them good.
Yeah, absolutely. He has a gift with getting people freaking motivated to do something.
You can get people because he believes in himself. He can get people to. That's exactly the type of thing, right? Like he's not trying to get you to believe in yourself. He just believes in himself so much that you start to believe in yourself, right?
Yeah.
So
true.
yeah, he's so thinking inwards so much that it resonates outwardly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
Powerful for sure. Yeah. What's your favorite paintball memory of all time?
Dude, Spider Cup for sure.
Yeah.
All of you guys say that, dude.
Crazy,
Spider Cup.
And that's another reason Oliver's been jealous this whole time because he wasn't a part of that.
Hey.
Or winning the motorcycle in that 1-on-1.
Oh, what?
Didn't you beat Oliver in that?
Nah, Oliver didn't play.
So wait, I haven't heard this one.
You don't play.
Okay, then I'm thinking there was like an Ultimate Madness 1-on-1 that you played in West Virginia or something. I swear you beat Oliver in a 1-on-1 tournament.
Oh, I've beaten him in way more than one 1-on-1 tournament. I'm coming for you, Tyler. They just won't give me a crack at
that. Yeah, you gotta step up, boy. Let's go.
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Yeah,
I know you. You don't tuck in.
That's right. You guys heard it here first.
Yeah.
Pro
Alex
Tour.
is my least favorite person to play on 101 because he never tucks in.
You either don't know where I am or I'm not tucking in. There's two options.
That's true. He's elusive out there, dude. And Alex is always the first one to play people one-on-one at any field you go to. So if you want to have some fun, challenge Alex to a one-on-one. He'll take you. I will. Yeah.
I'm thinking I might have to step in and challenge Bear to protect Ryan.
Dude, that's getting heated.
Ryan's getting picked on. I might have to come in and say
he is getting picked on. Yeah. Damn. Bears. Who do you think would win in that?
Well, obviously Bear. No, Bear doesn't stand a chance.
No chance.
I mean, maybe if it's like one point, maybe. Yeah. But if it's like best of something like that format you guys play, no way. I mean, Ryan will clean him up.
Yeah, it's been pretty funny watching that. Actually, I just sent a text to the team chat for Dynasty stating this whole paragraph that Ryan wrote back in response to Bear. He was just going all out. If you can find it, good on you. I'm not going to repeat what was said, but it's getting crazy.
Good on you.
Yeah, it's fun time.
Well, I gotta hand it to you guys. You're right in that part of your career where you're athletically full on in your prime. And, have the experience you need. You just, have to tap in and do it. So hopefully we can get back to playing paintball and we can show the world.
Show the world, baby.
Yeah, I think we have a lot to prove. Like you said, Alex, I truly think Tyler and I talk about it all the time. We do have everything we need. And you touched on a few different things about what it'll take for us to win. I think a big part of it is just simply winning, and once we overcome that and have that belief in each other, you stop hesitating on those little things come Sunday, which I think end up really hurting us. And
I mean, I don't have all the answers, obviously, but in hindsight, you do. Like you look at that last game in Vegas, and there were small things that we did that were not disciplined. That it didn't have to do with the players on the team. It just came down to some small decisions, right? And it also came down to the team strategy. Like, okay, it's now the 10th point, and we haven't planned this far in. Why are we doing the same thing, right? Like, I mean, again, it needs to get tuned in, but I do think we're way better than we were 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do for sure.
Yeah.
You hit it on the head, Alex. You already said it earlier in the conversation. We gotta play the game. I mean, we got to play the game.
And it's more than that, though. I mean, you think that it's like, okay, believe in each other, play the game, have heart, like all those things.
No, I'm not saying that.
This comes down to motivation too, right? Like some guys need to be yelled at, some guys need to be, handled with kid gloves, some guys need the big pump up pep talk. Not need it, but you'll get more performance out of them in those certain things.
That's,
so it's like
that's actually not what I'm saying. I'm saying that we're not playing the game as good as these other guys. They're switching up on us and catching us off guard, and then we're still in the book. You know what I mean? We got to play the game and get almost out of the book and start playing paintball.
Sure. And it's again that fine line of when do you play in the book and when do you play out of the book, right? So and that happens within a point, and you got to factor in all these weird things: the clock, the count, who you're playing.
And who did that come from in your guys' prime? It was the players. That's where that came from, right?
Yeah. I mean, there was a time where we were just completely relying on our ability as better paintball players to win, right? That's no longer the case for any team.
Right.
So it's a much more healthy competitive environment now to where the details are what makes the difference between winning and losing.
Yeah.
Yeah, strategy is definitely important. Revo did a really good job of setting up in that center tall wedge against us and just shooting on that one side of the field in Vegas. When we walked the field, you couldn't crawl around Snake 1 because it was on this big little hill. And if someone was in that center bunker, they could just shoot the ground. And we got caught like that multiple times.
Ancient history, dude. Ancient history. Yeah. But you're right. Let's do that to them next time.
Yeah.
It's okay if it happens, but you got to give them something.
For sure. And it is ancient history. Vegas was an eternity ago, man.
Speaking of ancient history, though, let's dive back in. I think we kind of left off at like Dynasty 2003. So Oliver had come back, and God, I mean, dude, this was so long ago, man. How old are you now, Alex?
So I'm 28 and holding. Me and LaSoya.
Me too. Nice.
Yeah. Now I'm 37. So anyway, Yeah, this was back in like 1938 when
We were just
when Oliver
in the middle
left
of
the
World
team.
War
No,
II.
so yeah, Oliver left the team. Yosh wasn't on the team; they were on the Ironman, and we kind of the gang of misfits won World Cup that year in 2001. So we put ourselves on the map right in the beginning, playing at the LA Open. We made the semifinal or the finals, the top four. We didn't win. I think we got third, but for the first, like, a new team didn't just come in and do that.
Yeah,
Like,
no way.
to beat like Image, to beat Lockout, to beat Ironman, to come in and immediately establish as that type of team. And we were on the fence whether we were going to even be pro. Half the guys wanted to be amateur, and half the guys wanted to be pro. And we did a
Damn.
vote, and we just said, okay, tie goes to the runner, and we went pro.
Yeah.
And so half the team played amateur at Mardi Gras 5-man, and half the team played pro. And I was on the pro team. We got killed.
Yeah.
We didn't really get killed. We just didn't win a lot of games. Like, it was closer than the score said.
Yeah.
But I did win the motorcycle.
Yeah, please. I got to hear about this story.
Yeah.
Dude. I haven't heard this.
Yeah.
So how did that go?
So it was a 1-on-1 tournament. I got to the end against John Marquez, and I was like, his best 2 out of 3.
LJ.
And I was like, dude, Lil John, man, let's just have fun here and split the prize. And he's like, no. He's like, no, I'm gonna take the whole thing. And then I just smoked him down 2 times in a row.
What'd you do with the motorcycle? We know you didn't ride it.
So I didn't have to pay entry fee, but if I won, I got half the prize.
Nice.
So you guys split the motorcycle in half?
Chuck staked me and then paid me like $2,000 or something for the sale of the motorcycle.
Nice.
Alex always says when he sees someone riding on a motorcycle that they're on their way to the hospital.
Yeah, eventually.
Jesus.
Yeah. He goes, no, I know it's a bad joke, but the motorcycles are so dangerous, dude. And Alex is always like, look at that guy. He's driving to the hospital.
It's true. If you're out there and you have a motorcycle, sell that shit.
Yeah, I do agree. Very dangerous.
They're lethal. And
tell me why are seatbelts in a car a law, but you can also ride a motorcycle?
Yeah, just catapult yourself into.
How does that make any sense? You have to wear your seatbelt when you're in a car, but you're also allowed to ride a motorcycle, which doesn't have a seatbelt, and you just go flying if some teenager texting changes lanes.
Or if it's Ryan driving. He's never
exactly
on the road.
Thinking of. Yeah, once you've been in a car with Ryan, you definitely won't drive a motorcycle, knowing that there's lunatics like that out on the road.
Oh, dude. Yep.
So anyway, yeah, we won World Cup that year, which was huge, right? It was the controversial thing with Aftershock.
Yeah.
But we won. We beat Avalanche in the semifinals to make it on the finals. Like, stood our own. I think we beat Ironman, and like stalemated Shock, or I don't even remember, but we ended up winning the tournament. Which was huge. Then Oliver came back the next year because, now we were cool enough for him. And I think, he was going to get a little bit of money, which he wasn't going to get on Shock. And that was like a side deal with him and Chuck.
Oh, yeah.
But it wasn't a lot of money. And we were all living in the house and having fun. And Oliver was like, I remember I'm like, come on, we're moving down to San Diego. Come, we're all living. He's like, nah, I don't think I want to do that. And then Marcus lived with us instead. And then Oliver came down and ended up sharing a room with Marcus.
Oh God.
So then, Oliver realized that he would have this thing, like he would want to leave. It's like the grass is always greener type of thing, right? Like he had that. Go to the Ironman, the grass is greener. And then we became Dynasty, we were way cooler, and then he came back, right? We here's a good way to describe him as a person. So when we were on Ironman, or when we were on Iron Kids, you could have 2 pros, right? And Oliver's like, all about these pro guys. Like, we're going to get Davey and Todd Martinez. And we had 2 rooms at the tournament, right? So it was like 10 people for 2 rooms. He's like, all right, here are the rooms. Me, Todd, Davey, Eric Roberts, like all the cool guys, right? Like he's making it all. And I will credit him for, like, he was the one who put all that together, right? He had the vision for that. And so we got to the tournament and we're sleeping in the room, and he knocked in the middle of the night on our door. There's too much. It's too crowded in there, and Davey won't let me sleep in the bed with him. And he comes in the room and he starts fucking jumping on the bed and wake everybody up, right? Like, I want to sleep in here now.
Oh my God.
So then I'm like, stop, shut up. I took a phone just like this one right here. And I picked it up and just smashed him in the face with it. And he split his nose open. And I remember the whole tournament, which we won, he had to put his goggles on right on the bridge of his nose, right on that cut.
Oh, dude.
So, and then he came back to the team, which was great. And then the whole thing, we did really good after that when he came back to the team. 7-man started, and we were just crushing, innovating, winning.
Yeah.
Went on this huge run, a lot of fun, lived together in the house, kind of rewrote the book on all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then I think around 2005, our contract with JT was up, and we were going to go and try to get the best deal we could for the team.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember talking with Dave Youngblood, and he's like, we were over in Asia at one of those tournaments, and Ryan and I were up in Dave's room because we were going to try to cut a deal with Dye. And he's like, how much gas do you guys really have left in the tank? This is 2005. So,
Yeah.
we're like, yeah, no, I think we're pretty good. We're solid right now.
Just getting started.
And so he put a deal on the table, and it was less for the whole team. Mind you, Oliver was on the team.
Yeah.
So the deal he offered the team was less than he offered Oliver as an individual.
Wow.
So he designed the deal to fail so he could tell Oliver, I offered it to those guys and they didn't take it.
Yeah.
Damn.
So then he used that as leverage to manipulate Oliver to go play on the Ironman, which I don't fault Oliver for doing that for that much money. It was a shitload of money.
Yeah.
Right. But he broke our hearts, especially because we were on a huge roll right then.
Yeah. For sure.
And, we made, I don't know, some kind of a competitive offer, but not that competitive, obviously. And that's just not how we ran our team. We were a team, not one guy. And, we weren't Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, right? We were like Pearl Jam. So anyway.
So can you
got to be Eddie
like...
Vedder. Even you got to be Eddie Vedder, but we still all got credit for writing the songs, right?
That's right. What was that energy like in those huddles in the team, dude? That team at that time was, people to this day still idolize those times. So talk about that.
We just knew we were gonna smash. Like you went in and you're like, we're just with like complete disrespect, like knew you were gonna beat the other team.
Yeah.
Like didn't even care who it was. You're like, these guys are old men idiots, and we're just gonna smash them. Seriously, like me and BC would look at each other and go like, dude, these guys are like grown men.
Yeah.
And then
you guys are like what, like 19, 20, 21?
Early 20s.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
so
cutting edge. Wow.
Yeah. So that was that. And then, in 2000, that was a nice run. And then 2005, that whole thing with Oliver happened. He left the team, and that was like heartbreak, right? Like now I feel like I could get through anything, like as far as like losing like a personal relationship, right? Like for being at that age and losing a friend that close, which I didn't have to. I didn't have to lose a friend, right? Like that was dumb.
Yeah.
Like so I lost a teammate, whatever, but I didn't have to lose a friend, right?
Was it your decision to not be friends, or was it more his?
Mutual. I feel like.
Yeah.
Probably more mine, I guess, because I had the rest of the guys with me and behind me, and like it was war,
Yeah, for sure. And you guys started out together. You guys started out in paintball together, pretty much, like in the competitive aspect.
Yeah, that was like my best friend.
Yeah, for sure.
It sucked.
Yeah.
So anyway, but instead of folding, we're like, all right, let's get better. And actually, one of the detrimental things I think that happened is we would try to find like a replacement for Oliver, and we ended up picking up all these guys that ended up like not working out, where we should have just been better ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And gotten like that one guy or whatever and made him.
Yeah.
When you look at these teams that say, oh, we need a Lasoya, we need an Archie, we need an Oliver. Yeah, those guys are great and they'll improve your team. But really what makes a good team are the guys you have and doing it together. Unless they're just complete numbskulls, you can play enough together and make it work. So we stuck together, ended up winning a bunch still. The league got divided. So it was kind of a, like debatable time as far as like the competition, like the playing field. Still ended up winning a bunch. We were usually beat the Ironman when we played them, but they won those World Cups. Like they had a really good couple of runs there, like leading up to I think maybe 07 and 08. Were their 2 big years. And then but we were winning too. We won twice as many tournaments as them those years because we played more tournaments.
That's
they
right.
were like stuck in the X-Ball League thing. I can't remember.
We so in 2005 is when they were stuck in the X-Ball League. Yeah. And then like 07, 08, we did play 7-man as well. And we actually were going to be the first team to win the series over you guys heading into San Diego. This was at the end of 08, actually. We literally had to win one of the damn prelim games
Oh God.
Yeah, I know.
They
It
had to
happened
win
several
one.
times. It happened to
Oh
Impact
my
too. I think
God,
maybe
dude.
either the year after. I think the year after that, Impact like had to get like third place or something, and they
Yeah.
lost to Hurricanes
Oh
in the
my
dark
God.
to get fourth,
Oh
right?
my
Like
God.
and you guys had to shoot like one guy. Like
Yeah.
you were like, all right, we just got to shoot one guy this weekend, and we win. No, Commander Mo,
Yeah.
like, and we party with Maurice Gibb from the Bee Gees, who was a player and big friend of the WDP guys, who was a sponsor of ours. So we hung out with him and party with him. And then he passed away, and the tournament was called Commander's Cup. And that's actually the only trophy that I have at my house is the Commander's Cup.
Whoa.
And he came down from heaven and literally squashed the Ironman that day.
Yeah. Commander Mo, dude.
Yeah.
He ruined
Holy
that. It
moly.
was awful.
Yeah, I think that dude, it's great that we're having this conversation right now. I hate to break it to both of you, but I think Oakland Blast was the first team to beat Dynasty for the 7-man series title. We didn't win a tournament all year, but we got that series.
Was this in
Did
2000?
you roll us up?
No.
No, you
2011.
guys beat us in the finals in Vegas, the very last tournament, but we had such good we got like second, third, and we secured the
I think that's when Marsala played with us that tournament.
Yes.
No. Because that was 2012. You were playing with Explicit that year, Ty. Blast won in 2011, I think.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, congratulations, dude. To you.
Yeah, dude. It felt good. I'm not gonna lie. It felt good.
Kids have been trying to take down Dynasty or be part of Dynasty their entire paintball career since you guys did. It's one of the other. You either climb the mountain or you become part of the mountain.
That's it, man.
And that's the thing. Like, guys came on our team and got what we call Dynastyitis and think, oh, we're on Dynasty, we're just gonna get catapulted to victory, which is not the case. You need a guy with sharp teeth to come on there and push the rest of the guys and say, I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna be better than you within the team. Yeah. And then that's how you get a good player. Because we've had a lot of guys that come on the team and just expect to win, and that's just not how competition works.
No,
good point.
Not at all. Yeah.
So and you guys have that. I mean, you already had that. We knew that picking you guys up. Neither of you guys were like a project for the team. You're already established players who have won and been great. So now it's just finding the balance of, who do you play, where do you put them, and when do you do it, right? And that's a thing of coaching and like, contribute in the way that you can. By the way, your facial hair looks great, man. You look like Captain Jack Sparrow.
Thanks, bud. It's been COVID's been rough on me a little bit. It's I got 2 kids. They beat the crap out of me all day. My wife, thank God for her. She's the saving grace. And
she is, dude. You're not kidding.
I'm the luckiest guy.
I love you, man. I love you, but you are a lucky guy. Yeah. you picked a good one. You lucked out.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sarah.
And Sarah, we love you. And my kids are so amazing. They keep me on my toes, and I'm just so blessed, dude. I really am the luckiest ever. But yeah, man, it's been fun. Sparrow's been growing. We've been riding the high seas out here. It's been crazy.
So let's see, where do we go from there? Those were 5 tough years, right?
Yeah.
Trying to rebuild the team, not rebuild it, but team without Oliver, and that's like, he is the emotional leader of the team.
Yeah.
So then, obviously I had to step up and put those shoes on, which I'm not him, I tried to be like him as much as I could in that way, but just, that's the thing. And then on the field too. I mean, it's like an on-field general. I mean, off the field, he contributes more than he does on. I mean, he's an elite player, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of really great players out there. There's not a lot of really great leaders out there. Mm-hmm. So that's him. And then, again, like when he left, Ryan stepped up hard. Like, I feel like Ryan plays way better when Oliver's not around. Mm-hmm. I don't know what that is, but it's a jealousy thing or whatever. I mean, those guys are really good friends, but also there's a huge amount of competition there.
Well, also that stems back to the roots of when like it was Ryan and Yosh, and then you and Oliver, kind of like, right?
Sure.
Back. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, Yosh has always been that steady hand, reliable no matter what. But yeah, I feel like off the field, me and Oliver really saw eye to eye on like, at least at those times, like how to play, right? How to play the game, what to do, game planning and stuff. And Ryan was kind of like a contrarian, just like he is now. And that doesn't, I don't believe, have to do with what he actually believes. He's just a contrarian. Like if you want hamburgers, don't tell Ryan. Tell Ryan you want tacos, and then you can go get hamburgers because he thinks you want the opposite thing.
It's the most factual thing that you've said all night. That's too funny. It's real.
Yeah.
So anyway, he comes back in 2005 and like, a tremendous amount of like healing and, rebuilding a friendship, and it never will be the same because of that, right? Like my dad used to do this thing when I was a little kid, and he'd say, Alexander, come here. And he'd bring me over to the sink, and he'd take an egg, and he said, see this egg? And I said, yeah. And he'd smash it in the sink, right? And then he'd look down at and say, sorry, egg. Right? You get the relevance of that,
Yeah,
right?
100%.
No matter what you say, you're not going to fix that egg.
Egg is
Right?
gone.
So that's, you got to be careful what you say to somebody, be careful what you do.
Yeah.
In your relationship, like there's, critical moments that you really need to choose because you can never have them again.
That's so true,
and-
man.
The relevance is that's how you got the name Eggman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marcus actually gave me that name, Marcus Nielsen.
Yeah, dude.
Scrambled
I'll
eggs.
bet you, yeah, fresh eggs, baby. Dude, I can only imagine the madness that went down in that room with Oliver and Marcus the Carcass Nielsen rooming together.
They like shared the room. Like, it's my turn to sleep in the bed.
That's
like
crazy.
Idiots.
Dude, that's so
Yeah.
amazing. And yeah, dude, I love both those dudes. Shout out to Marcus Nielsen, Dreamy. Get him, baby.
Love them.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah.
But hey, Alex, when Oliver did come back from the Ironman in 2011, you guys went on another pretty big run. 2011, 12, you guys picked up Dalton, Mouse, a bunch of newer guys like Mike Mesa, McCormick. Those guys were on the team. Obviously, you had the OGs, but you guys went on another big run too. You guys have kind of been on a steady run for a long time up to that point.
Yeah, no, I mean, when Oliver came back to the team, that was a huge boost, and people will like gravitate towards him, right? So if he's on the team, then you can go get whoever player you want, right? Kind of deal, like just so they can go be a part of it.
Sure.
So yeah, we got Dalton, Mouse, these guys who were young, hungry, and just like the next level of, gifted paintball players. And I grouped both of you guys into that too, and you came on shortly after that. I think like the next year, right, or maybe next 2 years. Either way, those guys were there, and then I feel like same thing happened. Like we nurtured those guys, and right as we were starting to get like on a roll, then they bailed for whatever reason. And then, we were lucky to get you guys and Blake. I mean, Blake was like kind of a gift that we found, like a diamond in the rough type of deal.
Rusty found him.
Awesome teammate. Yeah. Like we were short a guy for a tournament, and he's like, yeah, I know a guy. And we're like, okay, fine, whoever. And then he comes in and just starts running, crushing, like, fearless type of paintball player, the stuff you can't teach. Right.
Yeah.
And so, not only a great player, but also a great guy and great friend. And that's another thing. Like you guys, are lovely guys, and I wouldn't want you on the team if you weren't great people also.
Yeah.
Right. So we're like, if you don't want to share a room with a guy, then even if he's really good, he probably shouldn't be on the team. Right. Not great for chemistry.
That's been our
Totally.
mantra, kind of. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's one of the most
and-
alluring thing of Dynasty too. Dynasty's always been that way. It started as a brotherhood, and it remains to be that way. And I think that's why. Well, I know that's why I wanted to come to the team. That's why this is a team that I've always wanted to be part of, is because there's nothing better than having success with people that you care about. To me, having success in a situation with people that you don't care about, it kind of sucks. It goes back to what you were saying, Alex. Like, what is successful? Is it looking inward and only worrying about yourself? And yeah, you might win, or do you have a bunch of friends in the process? And there's that balance, and that's Dynasty is the epitome of that.
Yeah, and there's beauty in the loss also, right? There's education, there's knowing your character, how you handle it, how your teammates handle it, how you handle it together, all that stuff. And that's one of the things I find probably the most sacred are the guys that I've played with on my team, and I've had develop that relationship with, who I know I could call from 2 a.m, from a jail cell, and they'd show up. I mean, most families that share blood don't have that type of relationship. So yeah, I mean, that's a beautiful thing. Truly,
man. Yeah, it's a dream come true playing for you Aggies, and Cran, man, dude, to be able to, he's the OG of all OGs for like paintball in general,
Yeah, and I mean, I know that you guys are going to be there for the showdown. And I know this also. I know we have more fun than any other team. There's no way. There's no way another team laughs as much as we do. Yeah. There's no way.
Dude,
I literally, I mean, we turn serious when it's time to play. But I mean, it's like, dude, laughing is just the best. and
proven.
we do a lot of that. Yeah,
proven.
we all have done that.
One of the
Yeah.
things I miss the most is just practice right now. You know, practices
Yeah.
are so fun, getting to see everybody, and honestly, always Alex, until we play about the first point and you start yelling at me. But right before that, it's like the happiest moment of my entire week.
But that's what practice is about: talking shit,
Yeah.
getting better, playing a lot,
Totally.
and enjoying
agree.
it. Right? Like I remember there was a period of time on the team where we'd be like labor through practice and then like go to Tony Pepperoni's at like 1:30.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh, no.
dude, that was like what was happening to the team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was like practice wasn't fun anymore.
Mhm.
Like we definitely got recharged. Like, you know, about 5 years ago when you guys came on and just like juiced us. And now it's, you know, competitive again and fun to be out of the field. Like I'd rather be out of the field till 6 or 7 instead of eating, you know, even though you're tired and pissed, I'd so rather be out there, you know, doing it than,
Yeah.
and that's what it is. That's what makes, like I said in the beginning, it's the love of being out there. You're not actually out there because you're like trying to figure out the field. I mean, that's what you're doing,
Yeah.
but that's not why you're there.
Mm-hmm.
So you're
Totally.
there because you love it, right?
Yeah.
And that's when the byproduct of that is success.
Well,
Absolutely.
it's really hard and really important to keep finding new types of motivation. Like the most dangerous fighter is not the guy that is defending his belt. It's the guy that is coming up trying to earn the belt for his first time, you know, that's been training his whole life for this moment. You know, and you guys have been defending year after year after year. So you do need different ways to practice. You need to have some sort of, what do you got?
I'm sorry. I'm just laughing because Alex still has this phone up to his ear and it looks like it's getting heavy.
I need one of those things like that, dude. Here, I have some beans I'll put here.
Got it. Look, we love that people listen to the podcast. I really hope everybody watches this one on the YouTube. It's
If you're watching, peep this. There's a fan art right here. I just got somebody painted this.
Dude,
James
well,
Merlis, my boy. Check him out on Instagram. James Merlis Art.
Yeah.
He's my boy. He does commissions. It's awesome.
Dude, that's the original
cool.
serial killers.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Sorry, Marshy. I couldn't hold
it's
that
all
one
good,
in.
dude. Yeah, it's fine. I don't remember what I was saying, so it's all good. We can move forward. But you know,
practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
And I will say, you know, everyone has their own discipline, right? Like Marcelo, like your fitness thing, right? Like that's your thing. Like that's where you're at. But like, you know, that's not going to win you a tournament. You know, yeah, you might not get tired as easily, but you're not going to win a tournament because you're in good shape.
But it surely could help. Absolutely.
It ain't gonna hurt. It ain't gonna hurt.
No, but
to
it most definitely will help.
But to believe that you're better because of that is a mistake.
See, I totally disagree with you and Oliver on this. And now this is the second time it's been brought up. That's just ridiculous.
Oliver said that?
Yeah, 100%. And it's absolutely ridiculous to not believe that you're better because you're in better physical shape is ludicrous.
Well,
I didn't say that. I said you shouldn't believe that you're better because you worked out.
And I can see where you're coming from, Alex, because you're right. You know, just because I have these muscles and
you're an Adonis, dude. You're in better shape. I could work out till I was blue in the face, and I would never be as physically. Dude, you need to go on American Ninja Warrior. Probably both you guys should.
Yeah, run it, baby. Let's go. But yeah, dude, it's a cerebral game, really. You know, it's like we got to be dominant, and I'm with you too, Marcelo. Like I feel like, you know, when I do my exercises and I feel just like a monster, then I'm ready to go and just take over the world. But it is also, it's a balance. Once again, we find that balance, you know?
No, it's
100%.
great. It's great.
But
You just can't let it be a roadblock.
Yeah.
Right. Like right now I've got a huge roadblock, right? It's my self-confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But that's all it is. It's not real.
Yeah.
It's something that's in my mind. You know,
No,
same with fitness, right? Like fitness is real in the sense that you're not going to get tired, sure, but also believing that you're going to do better because you're in better shape is a fallacy.
So it's not, and I'm going to give you just a small example to prove you wrong again, because this is just such a ludicrous statement, and it's ridiculous. Dude, you guys are fucking nuts.
I love this argument. I love this argument.
So
this
check
is
it out.
Podcasting.
Look, yeah, it is absolutely. Look, being faster. If you don't think being faster helps you, that's kind of crazy. How do you get faster? It is through exercise.
We went over this already. If you're
Hold on,
slower.
Hold on. hold on. Here's yeah, we did. I don't buy into that either.
You're better off.
Go back, and you can watch paintball if you guys like to turn on the webcast and revisit some games. Come Sunday, one of the worst things you could do is get shot going to an interior spot. You got to be really crisp. You have to have good footwork. You have to have good agility. You have to be quick off the gate. You have to be really in tune with your body. The slightest little mistake off the gate makes it to where you don't get to a spot that you should never get shot from, because the physics aren't there for someone to pull up their gun and actually get a ball downfield if you can run that route efficiently enough the way you should. So yeah, physical endurance, physical conditioning, your speed, your strength, it all plays a huge role. And whether you don't think it's, you could debate whether it's big or small, losing one person on Sunday in a point that you can't lose that person in could be the difference maker. We've literally experienced it. What if it's in overtime and I get shot going to the Cali or Utah because I'm a little tired, or because I'm just not quite fast enough to make that tough gap, and someone's gun pulls up and they have a good shot? Like, no, I totally disagree. Look at any sport, any physical sport, and physical athleticism, physical ability plays a role. Does it play a massive role? I mean, you could make that argument too. Paintball's a mental game. I agree. But to say that it's a total fallacy is crazy, and it's bad for...
No, you're missing my point, though. I totally agree with everything you said. Yeah. That those little things, those inches do make the difference between winning and losing, right? And if that inch comes down to fitness, then yes, okay, you should have been in better shape. You should have been tired. Somebody else should have been playing. All those things.
Or run slower.
But if you think about it as, if Marcelo, you go into the point and you're like, oh my God, my guys are tired. I'm in good shape. I worked out. I deserve to win. That's wrong. You know what I mean? Like, if you feel like that in your mind, I'm not even saying you, I'm just saying in general, like, if you feel like paintball is a fitness competition, it's not. It's a paintball competition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think, I mean, no one's arguing that it's a fitness competition, but to say that fitness isn't going to help in paintball is crazy to me. Yeah. That's my opinion. And you've
not saying that. I'm saying my roadblock is, look, I'm not in the best shape, but I don't see fitness as like a bane to my not being good. Right now it's like self-confidence. I just played a tournament. Like, it was hot as shit out there. I was tired, but I was fucking crushing, It wasn't because of I wasn't, doesn't matter. I'm tired. You can still push through that, right? If you're in any kind of decent shape.
I think if you were a little faster, you would be a top 3 snake player in the league still.
Well, sure. That's not, for me. It's not come down to fitness. That comes down to fucking spaghetti knees.
That is fitness, dude. When's the last time you did some squats, Alex?
It ain't the years, it's the miles, baby. It ain't the years, it's the miles. Hey.
He's doing squats on the video.
Right? He's riding off into the sunset.
I just rode up a 2,500 foot peak on my bike. I'm in fine shape.
Yeah, and dude, the miles, he hit it there. It's the miles, baby.
It ain't the years, it's the miles, son.
Dude, I love it. Dude, who was your favorite like OG Dynasty player to room with or like hang out?
Oliver.
Oh, BC for sure. BC was my boy. $1,000,000%.
Yeah.
Dude, we were roommates for like 8 years in a row.
Yeah.
Oliver was annoying. Oliver, I loved Oliver because me and Oliver could combat Ryan and Yosh. Right? Yeah. Now I just get teamed up on no one listens to anything I say because Ryan whines and cries and I just don't want to fight him on it anymore. But me and Oliver could put up a fight against Ryan and Yosh. And Yosh is just like passively like hanging out behind Ryan, right? Like he doesn't say anything, but he's got Ryan's back.
Is that how it goes? I think I'm starting to learn that a little bit more. And Yosh is like tricky because he doesn't ever speak up. So he has this tactic about him now that when he does finally speak up, everyone listens. But he
will never talk down to Ryan. Watch. Name a time where he put Ryan in his place. Never.
Damn.
I'm gonna keep an eye out.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep an eye out. I feel like I have seen it one time and I can't come up with the thing, so it's irrelevant. But like, you're right.
I remember like when I first got on the team, like 13, 14, 15, just watching you guys go at it too, like in those squadrons, it was funny to watch.
Well, when Oliver came back on the team, it was a little bit of a different story, right? In the beginning, it was me and Oliver were like like,
Yeah.
blind support for each other. But then
Yeah.
when he came back, I was like, fuck this guy. Yeah. But then it was still good though. Like when nose met the grindstone, it was still good to have him on the squad,
Yeah.
right? To combat Ryan.
Dude, this is real life.
But
We're
look,
at field one right now.
Throw your hat in the ring behind me,
Yeah.
blindly support me against Ryan, and the team will be better.
That's right. That's
He just
right.
needs to shut up and not worry about that shit and play.
I mean, I
Yeah.
pretty much argue with Ryan on everything out there.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but then you guys have this little bromance that, when it comes down to it, it's like, yeah, me and Ryan can do a clinic together and make up.
I'm talking about game plans, all right? And
Yeah,
Yeah.
look, arguing with Ryan is different than backing me up.
That's true. That is true.
I just need you to say something I could get behind. You keep
Yeah.
talking about lack of fitness being okay, and I mean,
I didn't say it was okay. Yeah, whatever.
Dude, you'll never live that down, Alex. He'll hold on to that for
In a
eternity.
one-on-one, just like last time.
what's super
Yeah.
funny is I don't know if you did listen to the Oliver one. You said you did, and it was too long, but we literally had this discussion, and so it's funny that he always had your back, and then
Yeah.
you come on here tag teaming me, and I'm like, no, no, no.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. Whatever.
Yeah, it's
Dude,
fun.
yeah. That was a trek that we went on with Ollie there for 3 hours. It's crazy.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, it was a long journey, and we're definitely all four of us are very different, and
Yeah.
turns out that I'm obviously the most put together out of the four, and that's
Dude, ain't that the truth, man.
Yeah.
Alex, you are one of a kind. There will never be another Alex Fraige. That's for damn sure. And dude,
all right. So
hold on.
you're on a. Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I'm sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
you go ahead. You go ahead. It was just
Okay.
it was a stupid thought.
No, I like that. I got to hear it now.
All right, you're on a boat,
Uh-huh.
and you've got Marcelo, me, Ryan, and Yosh.
Ryan.
You got to throw two people over.
Oh boy.
Two people have got to go over, or else the boat's gonna sink. Who do you throw over?
Is this for me?
Yeah.
Oh god. Well, obviously Marcelo and Ryan.
I'm not gonna lie, I would throw us off too.
They could use each other as flotation devices.
Yeah, link
They're
up.
already so inflated.
Yosh,
Yeah.
Yosh is gonna keep you guys
Yeah.
alive, and
Yeah.
Alex is gonna make sure you guys are having fun.
Oh my god.
Ryan's head will keep us afloat. Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's a big one. It'll float. It'll float.
That's great.
Oh, dude, I love it. Oh man, Alex. So I'm sorry. I know we're gonna get back into the story time. You, in my personal opinion, are one of the greatest snake players to ever play paintball. How did you succeed on the snake side? What's some tactics that you could give our listeners to being the best snake player they can possibly be?
So the true story is the only reason I ended up in the snake is because Oliver and Angel stopped playing on the team.
Whoa.
So Angel was the snake guy originally, like he was the OG snake guy, right? Followed up by Oliver, who would just after Angel got in there, Oliver, if Angel didn't already devastate you,
Yeah,
then Oliver was going to.
for sure.
So it was Angel, Oliver, BC, and then usually like maybe Ryan in that like next spot in the back center.
He's the back center.
And
You
then
were like the center forward guy, weren't you?
yeah, like usually I pretty much typically throughout Dynasty I played the spot that nobody else wanted to play. So like we didn't have a guy for. So
Yeah.
And that's why I started playing the snake. So usually I played in the center or on the Dorito side, and then we picked up Justin Swartz, and he was on the team for a while, and he was like my protege who got really good, I feel like, on the team.
He did.
And too bad it was like such a hothead. He would have been,
Yeah.
I feel like had a much better longevity. And then I ended up playing on the Doritos during all those years. So all those real like the big run, I was like the number one Dorito guy most of the time,
Wow.
or the center guy.
Yeah.
So then Angel quit, and then Oliver quit, and then I ended up being the snake guy after that. They're like, okay, who can play that? And I was like, yeah, that's me. So
Yeah.
then I started playing that and got good enough at it to be competitive, and then started getting better and better at it, and then ended up having looking for guys to replace like that, plug into that spot, because it's always good to have multiple guys there, right? So then you got Mouse, you got Chad George, you've got these other guys that are now elite snake players that all came through our deal, and I taught him, the ropes basically.
And Kyle too, Kyle Spica,
Yeah, Billy Bernaccia, Kyle Spica,
Yeah.
dudes that are now dominators.
Totally.
So yeah, and then I end up just having to run back in there because those guys quit the team. So,
Yeah,
and
dude.
nobody. I mean, Ryan ain't gonna go do it. He can,
Yeah.
And Marcelo, you did it last time. You did good, man. I mean, but there's a learning curve, dude. It's like you got to go in there and realize that you've got to be expendable when you need to be and be solid when you need to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's like a weird position to play, especially now. So yeah, I mean that's the story of me playing the snake. I mean, it's just another one of those spots. It's just a spot that appears to be more highlighted than others.
True.
But it's not. I mean, in my opinion, it's not more or less important than any of the other spots. It's just, getting a guy that can go in there and execute.
Yeah, it just usually has opportunity to produce quite a few kills, so it makes a lot of highlights naturally, especially, you have a bunker that goes from one side of the field to the other.
Yeah, no, I mean, but looking back, like the best games I ever played in the snake are games where I didn't shoot anybody.
Yeah.
Where you were a thorn the whole game and you cause a problem in a different way.
Yeah.
And then, the other team's making mistakes trying to fill in and try to get you or try to, you're a distraction and your team's doing things other places. So yeah, it's you really got to know how to play into the situation.
That's such a huge thing. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because
and I think the bane of a lot of people that play in the snake are thinking, I'm going to be in the snake. Oh, I got in the snake and now I'm going to shoot 3 guys. Like that's not the way that it works. Like maybe you can do that if you got in unnoticed and you called down 3 knuckles and people are not looking at you. But if you get in there and the other team's got any brain in their head and they're yelling snake, most likely situation is you're going to pop up and get your face blown off. So, you got to play the guy in front of you. If you have the shots across the field, take them, obviously there's all these weird little things, but the way I like to look at it is like a game of like territories, right? So like if the other team didn't make out to the snake side, if the other team wants a chance of winning the game, they've got to get somebody out there eventually, right? So really it's not about putting the dagger in and going and shooting a lot of people. It's about controlling that real estate. Same thing on the Dorito side, right? So
yeah, I
mean, they could still win the game down the other side, but the chances of them winning the point are probably pretty low if they don't get a guy out there. So yeah, I mean, it's just small things like that, and obviously it comes down to paintball theory too. Like, maybe that's not the best way to play it. It's just the way I think is.
No, you're right, dude. That's absolutely right. A lot of people have the misconception about the snake where, I'm going to get in here and win the game. Like you said, a lot of the best games that you've played that I've had, happen to me is where I'm just a thorn. You're taking all that pressure and you're able to use your voice and dictate the game and get it to go how you want it to go. Just by following where that pressure is at.
Yeah. And, there's these, like, it really bugs me how we have these game plans, like hard Dorito, hard snake. Like, that's not really what it is, I mean, just because you're sending 3 guys that way doesn't mean you're going to be able to get in there and crawl down it. It all depends on what the other team did, where they made it, who you lost. Like, all you're doing is trying to create some type of percentage advantage in the point, and it gets played based on where everybody went, what the score is, what the time is, all that weird stuff.
So I think this is exactly what Tyler was referring to when he was saying you got to play the game. Playing paintball is so X's and O's are very important, and having ideas of how to crack certain codes on a field when the game actually happens and you shoot 2 people off one side or you lose 2 people off another side. That's where you got to figure out how to play the game, play the situation that's presented to you. But
and there's certain guys that are like, like that comes to them like this.
Yeah, totally.
Like Archie's one of those guys. Like Archie is able to be the number 1 snake guy, or he's able to be back corner guy zoning up, and he always is doing the right thing at the right time. Most of the time.
Yeah. And it's a gift for sure, dude. And it's something that comes with years of experience. I know that Alex, you, in my opinion, are one of the smartest paintball players to ever play, dude. Like, when to do things, how a game should unfold, when to launch, when to hold, and that's been the cornerstone of Dynasty, is having your great minds, the OGs that have had these powerhouse minds. And we've definitely learned tons.
We're right there, dude. We're right there. And thank you for saying that. You're right about all that stuff.
Yes, sir, dude. Damn Skippy. Damn Skippy. I mean, You're the
Dude, you guys are the best, man. I want to play the game now.
eggs. Let's go,
I
baby.
haven't played the game in a long time. Now I do.
Well, right now you're playing the
Yeah.
podcast, dude. It's like
Yeah.
Dude, play the podcast. It's almost as good as the game. I feel like I just shot like 8 guys.
Yeah, baby. Let's go. Boost. That's what it's all about. Yeah, man. It's a balancing act, and you got to know how to play the game and have fun with it all at the same time.
Dude, I haven't had as much fun as I do with you guys, man.
Dude,
It is the best. Even fight, like when we get in a fight, that's fun. Like it's like fun to like get in an argument and then know that you're gonna make up. You know.
I like that. That's how you look at it.
Yeah.
That's very
Yeah.
helpful for the next time we
gives
get.
him a lot
No, but the fight is a productive fight. Like it's like when somebody criticizes me, of course I'm fucking bruised in my ego. But if the person actually believes that, I have to,
Mhm.
give it holds water, and maybe they're right.
Mhm.
And obviously I'm one of those type of people that like historically hasn't been able to take criticism very well. But now, like it's just part of it, learning that and growing as a person, right? Still, look, I hate to even talk about Oliver again, but the guy is like, this self-proclaimed guru and personal development and all this stuff. If he came back here and got on the field with me and Ryan, he would that would go out the window, all of his Zen stuff in about 2 seconds. He would lose, his lid would blow.
Well, it
You
did
know what I
happen.
mean?
It did happen when he
Yeah.
came back. Like he was still on his on his journey, and he came back in 2015, and it was like, oh wait, you're the same guy. Oh, I love the guy.
Yeah.
Look, when you step on the paintball field, man, all bets are off. Like you said, you're in some kind of flow state.
Mhm. And that is the best, man, when you're in that. And I just look at you guys, especially you, Tyler, man. When you get out there, it's like, dude, you're a force. I mean, I do not want to be standing in. I mean, when you give me a high five before the game, I'm like afraid.
Oh.
I'm like, my hand is still hurt.
Dude, Ryan.
Let's go.
Ryan,
Like this.
Ryan literally cowers when I come towards him. I'm like, it's okay,
Dude,
man. I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm not gonna hurt you.
Break some wrists.
Yeah, and when the chips are, I mean, dude, Marcelo, you're such a dynamic player, dude. When people, think they have it in the bag against us, and then you just come out of the woodwork and fucking win those firefights that just are, pros shouldn't be winning against each other. You know what I mean?
Totally,
Yeah, it's all,
But you've got
all
it all. You've got all the cards. You got a whole deck. You just have to know when to play them.
yeah, exactly.
That's it, man.
Tyler, you don't have a whole deck.
Yeah, I'm
You're playing with half a deck.
half deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's really dangerous half a deck.
Like,
Yeah, he's got a flush in there.
Yeah.
He's got the
Yeah.
flush.
You've got half a deck, but they're all face cards.
which face am I gonna put on today? Have fun with it. Hey, so I do kind of want to pick your brain on Field 1 and any like new stuff that you want to break to us. So I don't know what's going on with Field 1.
Yeah, I mean, we're working on supporting and getting forces out there. There's a demand for them. We're back ordered right now, and people want to get them in their hands because they work great. It's a gun we designed to use. So if we want to use it, we think other people will too. And it's proven to be true so far. So, I'm stoked on the private label ones. You can check them out on our website. They're all on back order right now. But if you want to pick one up, go ahead. I love both your guys's, and they're down at Arc Anodizing right now getting done. So we should have them in a few weeks here.
Yeah, and that's you can check all that out at field1paintball.com and look at all the signature series. All the players on Dynasty have one, and dude, I'm not gonna lie, the blue meanie is Alex's gun, and it's my favorite of all time.
Yeah, it's good, but I'm thinking I might have to change the name of it, even though it has nothing to do with the current political climate. But
Me too.
Blue me,
Me too, dude.
Yeah.
I've got the white
I
dragon.
said that. Yeah, white dragon and a blue meanie. Yeah. Yeah.
Again, mine is a homage to martial arts. A lot of martial arts.
Yeah, whatever, dude. Hey,
Yeah, mine's a Beatles reference. It has nothing to do with the cops.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, I see what's happening. Yeah, jeez. But honestly, these guns are fire, dude. They shoot so good. They look good. I've had people pick them up, and nothing but good things to say about what these guns are doing in the market space. Huge shout out to Field 1 for what you guys are creating over there, man. It's pretty nuts.
Well, hopefully we can get it going, and it'll keep the team rolling for years past when I'm playing, and you guys, and we'll all be able to work together with some type of longevity. You know, if you build a company, we'll need more people, and who better than guys you can trust and you can work with.
And dude, it would be an honor, to be honest, to be able to work with you for a lifetime and see your old crusty face in like 30 years. You know, I would love that.
Oh God, I'm thinking about going to get some Botox. I told Ryan he needs to. I'm serious, man. I mean, it's preventative maintenance. I mean, come on. Look at this line.
Preventative maintenance.
Yeah,
you gotta lube the engine, dude.
I thought Ryan already got some though.
Oh, well, if he did, he didn't tell me.
Yeah.
I'm not dogging him. I think that's a good call. If he did,
he made a post about it. He got a sponsorship to get free facial Botox.
I love that.
What a man! Dude, that guy's sponsored by everything.
On the game.
I love starting rumors here on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yep, you got to play the game.
Hey. Yeah, Febreze. He just injects Febreze into his face.
Dude, he had the wood grain Febreze. I was like, "Are you kidding me, bro? Wood grain? What am I gonna do with this?"
He's like, "Don't spray that in my house."
It's lethal. That stuff's lethal.
I'm just kidding, dude. I love Ryan.
Let's get some Febreze going.
Here's the way it works with me. If I talk shit on you, you're the person I like the most.
Yeah, true. That is true.
Makes sense.
Hey, did you watch the 1v1 Pro Tour?
Yeah, dude. I mean, please.
Yeah,
dude, you're ridiculous.
What are your thoughts on the Pro Tour?
I think it's great. I think you manhandle everybody, though. You need somebody in there that doesn't tuck in to stand up to you.
Dude, I can't wait to play you. It's happening.
Wait, who'd you play the first time?
Kyle, yeah. I was thinking they need to get someone tall in there for me, you know? So a taller guy.
I don't know. Marcelo can see over those.
That was really good.
Yeah. I'm down. I told Brandon I'm in on the next one, so whoever wants to match me up against.
Yep. I think they're gonna do a little lineup and then get the contenders going, and then we'll get another match going.
Did Ryan ever do it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Who do you go against?
Ronnie Dizon.
Oh, he got smoked?
Yeah.
Dude,
our boy Ronnie. Thing is, though, that's Ronnie's shit, though. You know, fundamental, straight gunfight. Like that's what he's good at. And we talked about this when we kind of broke down Pro Tour a little bit. Ryan's gonna pick apart a team in a 5-on-5 game. He's really smart, really cerebral. You know, not to take away from his fundamentals, but it was definitely just a format that was designed for Ronnie in that situation. And Ronnie, it was pretty apparent, but.
Yeah, I was pretty bummed out that I wasn't able.
It's a cop out, dude. Ryan should be able to beat Ronnie. That just makes Ryan, his just confidence are garbage. Ryan never liked one-on-ones. I think he's afraid.
He doesn't like them. Yeah, he doesn't like them.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it the most.
Best. There's nothing better.
I've always one-on-ones.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to play Ronnie really bad. It bummed me out.
Did you ever play a one-on-one? Oh, Marcelo, you played a one-on-one in the tournament.
I played a bunch, dude. I played a bunch of one-on-ones.
Yeah, but like to win to
win
like a sudden death one-on-one.
Are you talking about with Dynasty?
No.
Oh yeah, Iron Man. I played Zach Yakimek.
Yeah, you smoked
him. Took him down.
Yeah, he was only like 8 at the time, but
I was like 9.
You still won. Yeah.
Dude. One-on-ones are something that I've always loved. I've always been really confident in them. So.
What about the ultimate shootout? You seen that crazy madness? The ultimate shootout.
Oh, is that where you hit the button?
Yeah, the buzzer.
I haven't seen the whole. I haven't watched like a whole match, but I saw what it was. That looks fun too.
It's pretty cool,
dude.
Yeah, it's exciting.
It's crazy. Yeah,
I'd be good at that if there were no refs.
Yeah, dude. Don't look at Alex. He'll run you down with a hit on him for sure.
That's how you learn.
Hey, Alex, the finals for the ultimate shootout is tonight. Well, for our listeners, sorry, you guys are going to be getting this on Tuesday. We're recording this on Monday, but Alex, tonight in 1 hour, it's going to be Matt Fuzzy Jackson versus Meter.
Fuzzy,
dude. The Bachelor's on tonight, bro. Sorry, I can't watch.
That thing's still on. It's still going.
Yeah, Bachelor in Paradise.
Is it really still going?
I think they had to cancel Bachelor in Paradise because of COVID.
Oh yeah,
dude.
You can't put a bunch of people in the house together and have them hook up.
Yeah,
what a disaster! That's a great move.
But
that's
we're still having paintball tournaments, and I do want to touch on that while we're talking about COVID, because every show we talk about real quick, Ty. I think it's important to put this out there, because paintball fields are opening up and events are starting to happen, and paintball players just need to try to be as responsible as possible when they're there. I think. And myself included. It's as soon as I got to the paintball field, I was like, oh, everything's normal again. You know, you have this false sense of security almost.
Dude, it's madness.
it
It's
is a little
masks
madness.
off. Everybody's spray talking. Everybody just, and then people are just hugging.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's like, oh man.
No, you're right. You're right, Marcelo.
Yeah.
I mean, the first weekend I went out to Dave's Field, like everyone was cautious. Like it was because it was like when very first things were starting to open up, and then 3 weeks later I went to the tournament out there, and it was a different story. People were yucking it up like nothing had happened. And you're totally right. That's dangerous. That's dangerous territory. There is a way to like do it without
Totally.
exposing a lot of people or making it risky. But I just, unfortunately, I don't think people in general, paintball or not, are responsible enough to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, and especially if alcohol is involved, dude. Like once I've been to a couple like gathering, once it hits your lips, dude, it's like they don't care.
Yeah.
Like it's just, that's it.
That's
I think
funny.
that,
Yeah, Tyler and I were talking about that.
unfortunately, the time frame that we're in right now, people are like, dude, I am over this. It sucks, but
Yeah.
we're gonna get locked up. They're locking us up again here soon, man. If we
It's
don't,
quarantine fatigue. See, I don't have the fatigue because I've actually been in quarantine in my mind for like 15 years.
quarantine fatigue.
It
Holy
is. It's
moly.
an actual thing.
That's not something you
Wow.
can exercise in the gym.
No.
Dude.
Yeah, gym. The
Quarantine.
gym, dude. What a crazy idea. Like even the idea of a gym now is like,
Yeah.
what the hell?
But how crazy too, because exercise and being outside, all that kind of stuff helps your immune system, helps fight this off. So
Yeah.
look, I think the biggest thing for me with the paintball fields though is something that would be really bad for the sport is if a massive community outbreak got traced back to a paintball event and some local paintball field had to get shut down and the blame is on paintball. So just be responsible. We get to play. If you do in your area, if your fields are open, be responsible, go out, have fun, enjoy the game, play the game, but just minimize contact if you can, that's all I'm saying. And that's something that I think is easy for everyone to do. And I hope people take it upon themselves to be responsible for the sport as a whole.
You're totally right. Check it out, dude. I used to have a sock hat. This was my sock hat that I wore when I played, and now it's my
face mask.
Face mask.
Dude,
That's the deal now.
Nice, dude.
No more sock hat. Face mask.
Are you gonna play?
By the way, I need one of those hats, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, we got you.
We'll
We
get
got you
one.
covered.
Yeah.
And a shirt.
You guys got all kinds of good merch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dude,
We do, man. We're having fun with it.
Send me a package. I'll pump you guys.
all right.
Go.
Yeah, of course,
All right.
dude.
We're on
Eggman.
it.
I already pump you guys. When we did those Field One things, the Field One webcast or the Field One Facebook thing, we always did a question to win the jersey was something that you learned on your podcast.
No way, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because me and you should listen to your podcast and then take a fact out of that and shout you guys out, and the winner
Whoa.
was someone who got the fact from your thing and won the jersey.
Dude, that's
Really
insane.
cool, dude.
Wow,
really
thanks, Eggies. What the heck? That's crazy. I didn't know that.
That's Dynasty for you. That's the
Yeah,
kind
man.
of.
Got you, dude. We got your back. See, we're funneling people down.
I love
Dude, I
it.
got.
I'll donate a jersey too to the podcast if you want to give one out for some reason to a
There we
listener.
You guys
There we
heard it
go.
here, man. We have an Alex Fraige jersey coming your way.
Yeah. So
Something-
if you listen to this podcast and comment on let's see what social media is your favorite.
Play the game on Play the Game podcast, dude, and Field One. So they have to follow both of us, I think,
So on Instagram.
on Instagram.
Okay, on Instagram, drop a comment, and we will pick a winner and send you a signed Fraige jersey.
I love it. Let's make it a little more specific. On the very first post we do about the Alex Fraige podcast, that'll be the post that you got to comment on.
Yep.
There
And
you go.
Right.
it has to be a hashtag TM40love. Yeah. Or any comment.
Yeah,
No?
I like that. I like that too. Give them the little hashtag,
And also, in regards to Tim, they're building a statue for Tim. There's a GoFundMe out there. Actually, in my story, you can go to my story and swipe up on that and support that as well.
Yeah, I think they're probably. Last time I looked, I made a little donation. I think they're almost there. So,
Yeah, it's amazing.
yeah, be part of a good cause. Something like that rarely gets done in paintball. It's kind of a unique thing, and I couldn't think of a guy that's more deserving of it than Tim. So
Yeah,
Totally.
absolutely.
great, great times. Actually,
He's in the office. He's looking at his whiteboard now. Alex is in his natural habitat.
I had a picture over there. I thought it was of us, but it's
Yeah.
not. It's with the Tampa Bay Damage guys.
I love that we're gonna have the actual statue memorial kind of thing is being done for Tim. And I mean, I hate the reason that we have to do that, but something that has kind of stunk about paintball for a long time. Part of the reason Tyler and I wanted to do this show is a lot of the stories of the past in paintball don't get told. After 4 or 5 years, people just kind of forget. And like you've had so many different incarnations, whether it's a different league or a different company that keeps stats. They last 5-7 years and then they go under, and a new company comes in, and the old ones just kind of disappear. A lot of even old videos of major tournaments are hard to find. So really, we need to do better as a community of paintball, of keeping track of the history of the sport, of all of this stuff. So, I do like that we're going to be able to have a pretty nice statue. It's like what you see outside of Staples Center. You see a lot of these bronze statues that, are pretty cool. So I'm glad we'll have that at the paintball field. That's going to be at the ICC venue, correct?
Yeah, it is. I can't remember the name of that field, but out there in Pittsburgh, or outside of Pittsburgh. Yeah, no, a cool cause. And I appreciate what you said, Marcelo, about, keeping the history alive and documenting it in some way. Mm-hmm. So when we're all gone and the space aliens come down, the Anunnaki come back around and come down to Earth after they vaporize all of us, they find these hard drives and learn about how we played the game instead of discovering cures to diseases. We were playing the game.
Oh boy, yeah, man, humanity, huh?
No wonder they died. They were playing a game.
Hey, you could also play the game by discovering new cures and things like that. You got to play that game. That's a whole nother game,
It looks like they had fun though. Yeah,
this must have been the Dynasty motto.
Yeah,
they were having fun.
Yeah, save those hard drives, baby.
Dude, I know. We could have a solar flare. There's so much, man. You just got to enjoy the moment. You don't know what's going to come your way. You got to enjoy the people.
Well, if you have some KLRs, it'll deflect the solar flare.
That's only if you have the scorched earth lens.
Yeah. Buy HK. Protect yourself from solar flares.
Good for 1 use, and then you buy HK again.
Yeah. Then it gets vaporized by the sun, and you buy it again.
None of this has been proven to work, and this is
no. Yeah. Don't use the KLR to block vaporization out there. Yeah, man. Eggies, honestly, from the bottom of both of our hearts, man, we just love you so much. And thank you for everything you've done for paintball, dude. You're one of the big legends in my eyes. I watched Dynasty growing up, and I wouldn't be sitting here and amazingly on the same team as you, having this conversation with you if it wasn't for what you guys laid down. So we just love you so much, dude. That's about it.
Yeah. Thank you. That means a lot. I love you guys too. And, I'm big fans of both of you guys. And, that's the way it goes. The most proud day of a teacher's life is when he is surpassed by his students. So I feel like, with both of you guys, I've accomplished that.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man. Well, and we still have a lot more to do together. Yeah.
Right.
But we're excited.
I'm just getting started.
Hell yeah.
I love it. Me too. So
yeah,
we're going to come in juiced.
Yeah. So you think World Cup's going on or what? You think it's going to happen?
I hope so, man. I mean, see how responsible people can be. But I mean, October seems like a ways away. I mean, I don't think there's going to be a meaningful vaccine available at that point. But, maybe these places that are popping up as hotspots right now will be through the crux of it by that time. But, I mean, there'll be another paintball tournament, right? Like this thing will pass. Mm-hmm. Science will prevail, and we will play paintball again.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
And we shall return, as I quote Douglas MacArthur.
Yeah, man.
We shall return to Kissimmee, Florida.
Dude, how's that? Is that phone heavy yet? You've been holding that phone up to your ear?
I haven't even started my left ear yet. Let's go another 2 hours.
All right, for our YouTubers, he just switched ears, man.
Listen. Oliver went for 3 hours. I have to go for at least 3 hours in 1 minute. You see what I'm doing?
Yeah. All right, he just switched ears. Let's go. Dial it in.
I'm a filibuster to this motherfucker. This is a play the game filibuster.
Dude, perfect. I love it. Yeah. So talk to me then about the AccuLock barrel.
AccuLock, dude, it doesn't stop. Lock into victory. Lock into success.
Alex, what?
You'll never forget your insert.
Yeah, that's right.
You guys actually have very special technology with that barrel that is unlike
We
any other
do.
insert barrel.
Yeah, so it's actually patented design to where the it's press fit into the tip and the back, so there's no gap in between those two things like on different um uh barrels with inserts. They kind of float in the back of the sleeve. Ours isn't like that. It gets compressed together, so if you break paint, which you won't if you have a force, then the paint won't sit in that little seam in between the two halves. Also, our inserts are the actual barrel back, so you can't like screw your barrel on without it.
Ah,
I was playing with a guy a little while ago with a freak, and he and a 10-man thing, and he forgot to put an insert in his barrel,
Oh,
and he
no.
came out there. And I mean, I'm not saying that's a common occurrence, but that can't happen with ours.
yeah.
Um,
Just spray.
Anyway, yeah,
I
check
love that.
check them out. Check out the AccuLock. It's a fun thing. A lot of the guys who shoot it like it. I just hooked up Lasoya with one at the Woods Ball tournament, and he was rocking it, and gave us a shout out. So anytime you can get an endorsement from a guy like that, you have a good product.
Dude, hell yeah. Shout out to Lasoya. That's my ace right there. I love Lasoya. And those barrels, like when I was younger, I bought the Freak. I'm a huge proponent of that style of barrel and being able to customize the ball. And what you guys have done with the locking system and the way it pressurizes together when you screw it all together is just genius, man. And you guys own that technology, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, no, it's money. So we're happy to be using those and competitive in that space. And
Yeah.
yeah, if you haven't seen one, check it out. Actually, I think we're out of them. So if you want to get one, you got to call a dealer, your local dealer who maybe
Hey,
has one or can order one from us.
are you guys still doing that promotion where you're giving some of the um, purchase funds from forces to paintball stores?
I'm not sure. That's a question for Eric and Yosh.
Okay. I know you guys were
I'm an
doing
idea
you
man.
guys were doing
No,
a really cool promotion, but
yeah, no, I know we were doing that. We were donating
during,
percentage of our revenue to the local stores.
local fields, local stores. I like that. It's awesome, man. All for the community, man, for the culture. It's what
That's right, dude.
what it's about over here. Dynasty.
Yeah, and you guys kind of, I mean, did you start, why did you start this podcast? Other than to preserve the history, it was kind of like, was it during the time that, because I feel like you must have had the ball rolling before
Not really. I mean,
COVID, no?
Tyler and I have just kind of talked quite a bit, about wanting to do something, and COVID hit, and it was kind of like, dude, this is the perfect opportunity to bring something to the masses and keep people inspired about playing paintball and continuing to be excited about the game. And people are at home right now with, a lot of stuff weighing heavy on their mind, whether it's like work not happening, not being able to bring money in. We just wanted to kind of keep it a little light for people and give people something to look forward to listening to. I enjoy podcasts. I listen to them almost every day,
Yeah.
Yeah, and podcasts are not only educational; they are a form of escapism, right?
Yeah.
So like, you can forget about your other stuff that's happening in your life and kind of just zone out and listen to other people's perspective on something. But I will say, for being podcast amateurs, you really did a great job with the production value. I mean, usually if you go back and listen to old podcasts that you like, they sound like garbage. They're disjointed. They're just
Yeah.
not the small things aren't taken care of that make the podcast go together and have continuity and all that. And you guys, man, I mean, you got the branding down, your logo, the opening to the show, good clean audio. Yeah, I gotta say, if it wasn't for schmucks like me with this phone and not being prepared, you might be close to perfection,
Dude.
especially for not having a studio.
Yeah. Well, thanks,
Thanks,
Eggies.
dude.
Like we've really went all in. Obviously, we had the time during this madness of COVID, but I talked to Marcelo. I was like, bro, I want to work with you. We need to work together. We both wanted to do something really creative. We want to tell these stories, and we came up with the idea of doing this show, obviously to talk about all things paintball, and to do it for the culture, for the love of the game, and to have some self awareness, self empowerment type of like tactics you can walk away from the show and use in everyday life as well. So it's just like an accumulation of all that, and having amazing people on like yourself to tell these war stories that we've been a part of for so long and keep the heritage alive.
Yeah, I mean, who you guys gonna do next?
We kind of
Ooh.
just wing it, to be honest, dude. We have a little bit of a plan, but yeah, I don't know who
Yeah.
we're gonna have on next.
We maybe like an industry guy. Maybe
Who's been the best? Who's been the best so far?
You.
No, come on, you can't. Not me. I know I'm not the best.
No, honestly, they all have such a value to them. Like that's the most beautiful thing is I learned so much about not only the game, I've learned so much more about paintball just in the 2 months of doing this, but just the connectivity with the community and all these different aspects of the country and the world for that matter that we're connecting with has been special.
Yeah, no, that's great. I really I admire that. And stuff like this are the the small things that you're able to do beyond. I shouldn't call it a small thing. It's a big thing that you're able to do
Mhm.
beyond just going out and playing paintball.
Yeah.
And this definitely brings the community together, and really that's one of the things that it's really about. Especially now it puts that into perspective. And I said you didn't have a studio. I know you do broadcast from your spaceship. Obviously, you have
Yeah.
what is that? Da Vinci's Vitruvian Man
Yeah.
back there with overlaid with the chakras. You're out there, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I've really outdone myself with this last backdrop on this one.
That one's dope.
Yeah, and I know Marcelo can vouch for this as well. Like when there wasn't paintball, this was paintball for people.
Yeah.
This was going to play paintball like during this whole shutdown, and I feel like it still holds that feeling. Like even like you said, you feel like you just shot 8 people. It feels like you're out there playing the game and having fun, and it's just been a great a great outlet for us.
We are paintball,
Yeah,
man.
certainly puts it in
know?
perspective.
That's the whole point of this. We are paintball, and anybody who listens to this show is part of that movement. And I think that's another big thing too. Is paintball has done so much for all of us. I know you can attest to that. I know anybody who's been on this show, people that listen to this show, paintball's done a lot for us. And sharing those stories and the lessons that we've learned and the experiences we've had along the way is, to me, that's why I continue to play. It's the stuff, the experiences, because you touched on it. It's obviously not the money. That's not what keeps us coming back. It's everything we've learned from the game. It's the people,
Smiles,
we've met,
baby.
relationships. And so telling those stories is what could inspire future generations to play, past generations to come back out and have fun, current generations to do better. Yeah, man, it's just all love for the game.
Yeah, and maybe I don't know. Maybe it's just where I am in my career in paintball in my life. I get more enjoyment out of watching my team win
Mhm.
than winning myself.
Yeah.
Like when we win a game or a match or a tournament, I'm like not that happy for myself, but I'm really happy for the guys on my team. I don't know. That's probably a really unhealthy thing, but
No.
Not at
that's the
all.
way that I feel.
Yeah, I don't see how that would be unhealthy. I mean, you want the
No,
people
dude.
close to you to succeed. Those are the people that are going to fight for you, and you fight for them. So, it shows that you care about the people around you. That's an important part of a team. You really need those parts. You need people to care about each other, because if people truly care about each other, they're going to do the best things for the team. Rather than some selfish play that might cost the team.
Mhm.
I'm sure it's some psychological flaw.
It must be, but if it came from anybody else, it probably wouldn't be.
What's crazy? Like I've got my schedule here. I haven't even looked at it. And I work here like several days a week, and it's literally right here next to me.
Yeah.
And it's my schedule for the year, like the practice schedule. Look at it.
Damn it, dude.
I know. I'm
It's
just
sad.
like looking at all the practices and the tournaments.
It's all just a wash,
Yeah.
baby.
Okay.
All got
Look.
derailed. Derailed, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get a practice going pretty soon here. Dude, I love that you have the blue Meanie phone too. Is that the blue Meanie phone?
Yeah, this is actually the phone that I smashed Oliver's nose with.
Oh, dude. You got to tune in on the YouTube on this, man. Yeah, dude, get us out of here. That's what I was telling you earlier. I was like, get me out of here, Alex. Figure something.
Look, I switched back to my right ear.
Oh, he's back. He's back. We got another 40.
Here, I got some cool paintball memorabilia. Here, let me show you. Okay, so I just went through some old stuff. I've got some great stuff at home, but
Yeah, let's dig into the office.
here's an Iron Kids iron-on from.
Whoa.
This is original. This would actually still work if you wanted to iron it onto a jersey from the original days. This was made at JT down in Chula Vista.
Whoa.
Okay, here are some old trophies.
On one of those.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
Yeah, I want one of those too. Are you kidding me?
Alex is in his office right now at the Field One headquarters, and he is going through and going to find us some cool stuff to look at here.
Sorry, that was dead air. Here's a $5,000 contingency check, a giant check from JT.
Upside down.
I think we won World Cup. Yeah, World Cup bonus.
Dude.
Pretty sure this was 2001.
Dude,
Wow.
I had
that
that.
is
I had that in my garage. Yeah, some bozo went over on the date. I don't know why they did that.
tight. Whenever.
I know that was 2001.
Dude, and in
Um,
2001, 5,000 was like 25,000.
yeah,
You know
and
what I mean?
yeah, that's not even the. I think winning the tournament was like maybe 15 or 20,000, and then that was just a contingency check from JT because we
Right.
won.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah. It's a little
Yeah, they were
bonus.
like it was like a bonus.
Wow.
You guys
Dude,
were
talk to
really
us-
raking it in back then, dude.
Yeah, what was the dollars like that was flying in at those times, dude?
The craziest was like I would say like around 2004 ish. Like there was like a prize of $50,000 one time.
Miami?
Yeah, Miami.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that was good times.
Dude.
Check these out.
Yeah, bring them in. We got trophies, posters.
Glasses my dad invented during the 60s. He said that everyone was around getting stoned in the San Francisco and psychedelic drugs. So
Yeah.
instead he invented these
Oh no.
Kaleido specs. Oh god. Try to drive with these puppies on.
Oh god, kaleidoscope glasses.
Yeah, they're pretty epic.
One yellow
one
lens,
is
one
yellow.
blue lens.
Yeah.
It looks like a lizard eye with a yellow and a blue lens going on there.
Yeah.
Okay, you got a trophy in the back here. Let's bring that to life here.
This guy is Mega 2003 Portuguese International Open Millennium Series.
There we
First
go.
place pro. That's
Dude.
before Europeans could shoot left-handed or run and shoot. That was a pretty easy one to win. That was a gimme. This is Shockwave Showdown, May 1998, second place.
Oh,
There was a
dude.
thing. Our team was called Lofty, and there's something called a Lofty curse, and we got like 8 second places in a row.
Man.
Yeah,
Oh,
so that was during the Lofty curse days,
So
and
you-
then we started getting first place every time. Weird
Yeah.
how that worked out.
Yeah, right. And then you have a wooden dragon here. I got to see this.
Yeah, I think this came from Hadi Gunawan, who was in I'm pretty sure he gave us as a Malaysian longtime fan and really good friend from Indonesia, and yeah, it's like a hand carved.
Yeah.
I can't tell. It's like a goose or
That's
something.
tight though. Alex, where's your favorite place that paintball has brought you?
Man, I remember going. I mean, this is probably I'm a little bit skewed on this because of the adventure and the time it happened, but I think it was probably in 2001 or 2002. Oliver and I went to Japan to do like one of the very first, if not the very first paintball clinic. Maybe it's even earlier than that. I've got a picture of us still somewhere of us out in front of Mount Fuji, but just going to that was so foreign, so strange to us. And we had great tour guides, great food, just, it was for the Far East Dragons and Hero and them. I remember we did this whole clinic, and then they were so like appreciative and thankful, and then we played them 2-on-10, like the last, like just for fun, and we smoked them down. And it was
cool,
awesome.
though. Yeah,
Dude.
that's awesome.
I was like, "Come on, you guys should just all ran at us at once. We wouldn't have been able to shoot all of you." Like
Right. Yeah, because if you just line one up at a time, you're going to take them all down.
that, and then I would say, just the European travels. I don't know if there's any one place, but yeah, Toulouse, that tournament was awesome. Never was a big fan of the German tournaments thing. That Eiffelstern,
Yeah,
freaking
right. It was
hostel
on
over
a
there.
U.S.
That was,
air base.
yeah, I know. But the thing is like you remember those times as being like really miserable, but you remember them more.
Yeah.
Like how crappy the time was. Like the crappier the circumstances are, the more fun you have with your friends.
Yeah. Embrace the schlep. Embrace the schlep.
Did either of you guys go to Russia when we went there? You didn't, right?
No.
Man, that was pretty rough too. Like we stayed in this place. I mean, I'm sure Marcella, you may have experienced something like this. I mean, it was this place was rough, bro. And then they were like, "Yeah, you're gonna get paid for this clinic to come out here." And they're like, "Actually, you don't get paid. You have to win the tournament to get paid."
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah. So then we have to play, and the Russian Legion's playing the tournament too. And we have like 3 Dynasty guys, and then like these like Ian Trainer, who was actually pretty good at that time. And we ended up picking up Sergey from well, he's back on Russian Legion, but at that time he was on Heat and he couldn't stand the Russian Legion guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So Sergey just wanted to smash them.
Yeah.
And we got to the finals after getting smashed by the Russian Legion in the first game of the tournament. We went to the losers bracket and then had to play all these games. And by the time we got to the finals, everyone at the tournament loved us because we were just there having fun and being good sportsmanships, and we didn't really give a crap at that point. We were just yucking it up, you know. And by the end, everyone was rooting for us. And we played because the Russian Legion were like, you know, being the Russian Legion to everybody, you know, not real nice and big swinging dicks out at their field. And so at the end, I was like, "Yo, it's the same story with Little John." I was like, "Yo, Kirill, do you want to just let's do a 6,000, 4,000 split, right? Winner gets 6, loser gets 4, because it was winner take all. It was the winner gets 10 grand. That's it. And second place gets 0." And he's like, "No, I think we'll take the whole thing." Like he saw that as weakness, right?
Yeah.
And then we just lit him up in the finals and won it.
Amazing. Holy
And the whole tournament, Sergey was like, and mind you, we played these games where like they were close games. Like there's good Russian teams that like we went to the limit, and Sergey's like the whole time shooting this one way, and we're like, "Dude, why don't you shoot the other way off the break? You know, the guy's making that spot over there." He's like, "I shoot right, I shoot right, I shoot right." Come up against the Russian Legion, I shoot left. Like switched it up at the last second, gave him the old okey doke.
Yeah.
And then we took it down. So yeah, I mean, he was playing, you know, he was holding his cards until that very last moment.
I love that.
Interesting, you know, even if you're gonna go out, you know, you still don't play your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
So yeah, that was a fun experience.
Yeah, Russia's
memorable. I remember having an anxiety attack over there. Drank so much vodka, man, and these freaking guys, man. And then going out there, like we're going on a tour the next day, and I was just, oh god, that was bad. And then, but Kirill, I will say, was a great host. They took us out in Gorky Park, and you know, took us out for a nice time, showed us the city.
Yeah.
Love that
You
guy.
returned the favor to him and his wife when he came out to San Francisco, right?
Well, not really. I mean, I took him out to dinner, but I didn't know he was going to be here. Like if he would have called me before, I would have put him up, but like, or he could have stayed with me, but he was like, "Yeah, I'm here for the night." I'm like, "Oh, let's go out to dinner then." So yeah. And actually that's when I saved their team. That's when they were pretty not very good. And I was like, "Listen, Kirill, dude, you just got to chill it out and not take it so seriously. And the guys you have, just, you know, let them play. You have these young guys on the team that could be good if you let them play. And if you're going to be bad, you may as well be bad while letting those guys play instead of like, you know, some American hired guns or, you know, yahoos that, you know, are on their way out."
Yeah.
So he let those guys play, and those guys are they're studs now. Karslev and
Smotrov,
whatever that snake guy's name. Yeah, Smotrov.
Yeah, totally.
No, I know he's a stud. I mean, I'm not dogging him because I forgot his name.
I know.
No, but yeah, and he actually brought that up on the show when we had him on, how generous you were, and how money you were, and like his production of how to break things down and stuff. So he felt the same.
Yeah, and you know, it's about, again, like I tried to put it in perspective to him because those guys take it so seriously, man. It's not worth it. I mean, take it seriously. Do a good job. Practice hard. Learn the field. Play the game. Parentheses podcast. But,
don't go to the gym.
It's not. Don't go to the gym, and it's not worth your personal happiness, right? Like, playing it. Part of the fun is having fun with the guys and getting to know them and not making it contentious all the time. I mean, yeah, sure, get contentious when it comes to a game plan and whatever. Fine, save it for that. But
dude, I love how you
personal.
Keep saying play the game for this podcast.
Well, I say, you know, you end up saying that phrase a lot. It's a smart name.
And it's part of our tactic.
I mean, that's how we came up with it. One, we were exactly like you're talking about. It was a really shitty situation in Prague. We were at this hotel in 2018. We were playing at the Expendables, and dude, I mean, we were on like the 5th floor, no elevator, middle of summer, piping hot, no AC. Tyler and I were literally sharing a bed that weekend, and like just the whole weekend was truly a test, you know, on and off the field. It was like 98 degrees, 90% humidity. We were dying out there, but the whole mantra was like, just play the game, you know, get out, just play the game, man. You know, game plans, whatever. Let's just see what happens after the break shit unfolds, you know, play the game.
So when you shared a bed, did you sleep head to foot? Like were Tyler's feet by your head?
Yeah, I was nibbling on his toes all night.
We
Or did
actually
you just sleep like butt to
we
butt?
faced
Yeah.
each other and we're breathing on each other all night. This was
Oh,
this was
God.
pre-COVID.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Dude,
Now they're gonna have a special thing that you can order up to your room that's like a plexiglass divider that you can.
with like a slide, you slide it right
Yeah.
in. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a modular system, It's a
Modular.
modular.
Can I have a trundle bed and a germ shield, please? Yeah, modular.
Germ
Yeah.
shield.
Ryan's got a modular system. It is.
Dude.
Yeah, we can't sleep at Ryan's anymore. We gotta
Social
Yeah.
distance.
get the modular system.
Dude, we need we modulate. So Alex, we have a whole crew that sleeps at Ryan's house. God bless them and their family. Like young Sloan in the building. We got Camille, and we're all just crashed out in the living room. There's like 6 of us, and we have a modular system that we have with the couch where it modulates, and we all like sleep out there. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
I usually wake up with Tyler's toes in my face. Yeah, you got great smelling toes though, I will say.
Thank you. I scrub. I scrub. I'm good. But yeah, like we have like chairs that we push up against the couch, and like your head's hanging off the couch by the end of the night, and it's just it's a whole thing. But dude,
Yeah, I was trying to explain to my wife how I got athlete's face.
yeah, you better watch out, man. Better watch out. Itchy.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, the blue mini in the flesh. I love him so much. So the blue minis from that's the name of your Field One Forest. That's from a Beatles song?
Yeah, so the Beatles movie, The Yellow Submarine, that the Beatles produced, and they did all the voices were the actual Beatles, and they did the music to it. The bad guy in the show was the Blue Meanie. It was like this little blue cartoon who was basically like the antithesis of everything the Beatles wanted to do. Like the Beatles wanted to have fun and do like free love, and the Blue Meanie would just try to stop them
There we
and
go.
chase them around the whole movie. And
Yeah.
I think also I can't verify this, but supposedly Blue Meanies were also code for like a certain kind of drug, like a Quaalude or a Downer or
Oh
something.
yeah.
So actually, I just like that. I just like the name.
Yeah.
I just like the name and the Beatles. I don't really like believe in what the Blue Meanie stands for. And actually, I'm probably just gonna change the name now.
Dude, the name is great. Blue Meanie is so funny. It's so you too. Like I thought you created the name, to be honest. I didn't know.
I thought it was a wrestler. I thought it was like a WWF wet wrestler or something.
It might be. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's where I got it from.
Dude, I love it. Shout out to the Beatles.
Amazing, dude. Paul McCartney's still going.
Yeah, man.
John Lennon, rest his soul.
When I was growing up, my mom's from Santa Cruz, California, and she is just a hippie woman, and like she would just be pumping the Beatles. I just like one of the best memories of growing up was on like a record player, just blasting.
It's good stuff.
Dude,
Yeah,
a record player.
Yeah.
Oh,
I still got one. Actually, it's good. Record player is good because the reason I use it, and Tyler, you might want to do this too, is it's visceral and it's tactile. So Alice can use the record player.
Yeah.
Right? Like for her, and she can't read, so she can't like locate a song in a library on a phone, but she can go find the record with the picture of the Frozen chicks on it and put it in the record player and hit play.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Dude.
So I do have a record player.
Nice.
How's
young Alice, dude?
She's great, man. She's crushing it right now.
Yeah,
Full
dude.
tilt.
For
Yeah, you know
sure.
the deal.
Oh yeah, man. It is full tilt. And she's how old now? She's 4?
She's about to be 4. She'll be 4 in November.
That's right. Dude, amazing. She's so damn cute, dude. You got the cutest little kid ever.
Yeah. Life's greatest adventure, It says that
Yeah.
procreating.
Dude, it is. It is truly an adventure. That's for dang sure, man.
So hopefully one day she'll be rolling with the squad.
Yeah, man. I know
Do you remember Double Guns?
Double Gun. Oh my god.
One time we were at the All-Star game, and Tyler was on Bob Long's team at the time.
Yeah, I know.
And Tyler was on the All-Star game, and I don't think I was playing. I was in the pit, and I think Davey was playing for our team as our representative. And I'm like, Tyler, dude, do 2 guns at once, because it was like a fun game. Like there wasn't any stakes. And the ref was like, "Don't do it to Tyler. Don't you do it. Don't you do it." And he did it anyway. And he rolled out. He put one down, and then he grabbed it at the last second and went dual wielding right into the snake, double gunning.
I'm pretty sure.
No one's ever done it since. No one's ever done it before.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was 2006.
Dude, he was so
Listen, dude. Next time we're going down in a game,
yeah,
double gun it.
Dude, I don't think they have that rule anymore. And when I did it, he was pissed, dude, because he saw me go out with 2 guns, and he's Tyler, what are you doing there? And he's like, "Don't do it, Tyler, don't do it." I put the gun down, and then right when it got to 2, 1, I picked that son of a bitch up and went running, and he's chasing me. Tyler, no!
I was so proud of you, dude. You shot like 5 guys also.
It was the best.
We were cheering you.
Dude, I'll never forget that moment, dude. That was a defining moment for me. It was fun.
That's a great moment, dude.
Yeah, it was fun,
Eggman,
dude.
where do you see yourself in 10 years? Where do you see yourself in regards to Dynasty and in the yeah, just, you know,
Well, depending on medical technology, I hear the exoskeletons are, making leaps and bounds.
Yeah, also,
No, I see myself definitely involved in paintball. Like, I love the community, I love the guys, I love the people I met. I like the direction things are going as far as the league and stuff, and I still love playing. So I'll be playing on some level.
Of course.
I don't know if I'll be, like pro butting heads and all that stuff, but I do certainly want to be involved, and I love like the like community of guys that still do the woods ball stuff, like Rodney and Rocky Cagnoni and Todd Adamson, Frank, and like all these guys that played with over the years that are doing that now and competitively.
Yeah.
So probably there, and hopefully we're able to grow this company into something substantial and be a staple in the paintball world eventually. I mean, you can't just something like this. You can't just throw money at and make it work overnight. You got to make sure you have a working product you believe in. It takes time to refine it, and then come out with new stuff and progress it. I mean,
Yeah.
like look at Eclipse. Like those guys, they were around making barrels like back in the like mid and late 90s.
Yeah.
And it took them 10 years from that point to be competitive with a gun, and it took them another like 5-10 years to be a huge company.
Yeah.
Relatively speaking, right? So and it wasn't until they sponsored us that they really started investing a lot into their spool valve gun. Like the Geo was kind of like their undercard little thing until we really started using, all of our guys started using it, and then they came out with Geo 2, Geo blah blah blah, and now that's their main thing, and they're discontinuing, or they're making a lot less of their lever valve, poppet valve stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's we got to see all these companies evolve throughout the years, and we didn't build the gun that we felt like would do the best in the market. We built the gun that we wanted to use.
Yeah.
So that's what we're trying to do, and then we'll progress from there.
Dude, I'll tell you, I don't miss with the damn thing. I don't miss, dude.
Yeah, I mean they shoot great. They're great on brittle paint. I mean they're a player's gun, right? Like it doesn't necessarily have all the bells and whistles of everything else. It doesn't have a color screen that talks to you, but you pull the trigger, brittle paintball will come out of the barrel and go where you want it to.
That's right.
That's all you need.
It gets the job done. It gets the job done, baby.
Yeah, I witnessed it against Keith.
Yeah.
Dude, did you see my thing? They interviewed me before that.
Oh, no way. They actually Short. I was just talking to Brandon Short today.
I'll send it to you. I don't know if they used it.
They didn't use any of them because
I'll send it to you right now. All right. It's funny.
Yeah. Because there's Shorty was telling me today they had a bunch of people they interviewed and they didn't use any of that input. I was like, dang it, I got to see that. And they even, this is like touchy because he passed away, but they even interviewed Tim and had him saying some words too, and that never saw the light of day, which it's like it's just so brutal, man, that whole thing. And once again, it's if you can do anything to help with the foundation that we have going for the GoFundMe to have a statue built for Tim, please get involved with that. We're right at the finish line there, dude. I think it's at like 45,000 or something. We need 50,000. So let's really dial in on that for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, they'll get it. That'll be great, and a great send off to Tim. And we can we'll keep him alive in our rhetoric and our minds and our hearts, and we'll honor him the best we can. That's just all we can do.
And the ICC has to become stronger than ever, man. We need to make sure that this league is forever, like that has got to be a staple in paintball forever now.
Totally.
Here, do you want to hear this?
Dude, I got it right here.
Let's see if this works. Hold on.
Okay.
Hey everybody, Alex Fraige here from San Diego Dynasty and Field 1 Paintball, here to predict the one-on-one battle, Tyler Harmon versus Keith Brown. Now, at first thought, you think this could go either way. Keith Brown, Tyler Harmon, both elite players, both have won multiple championships, both stand-up guys, fierce competitors. So, on the surface, you're going to probably predict that it could go either way. However, if you look closely at all of the different variables, you're going to have to edge this out to one of the two. So let's talk about the force first. All right. Tyler Harmon's got this, the field one force. Huge advantage.
Yeah.
We know he's not going to break paint. We know it's going to shoot straight.
Yeah.
Slam dunk. I don't know what Keith Brown shoots, but it ain't one of these. So I'm going to have to say, on the gun, got to give it to Tyler Harmon. Next, you've got the goggles. I know Tyler Harmon uses these HK KLRs. These ones, they're about 20 years old, still rocking. Crystal clear lenses, nice venting for airflow and communication. To yell out, get out, Keith, the ref will hear it. And, although they have great protection, Tyler's probably not going to need it because I doubt he'll be getting shot. Next, you've got the height. Tyler Harmon, he's about 7 feet tall. He can see over every single bunker. Keith, about my height, maybe a little quicker than Tyler, but, Tyler just has a whole bunch more radius that he's able to play out of. Other than that, I'm going to say, it's going to be close, but I'm going to have to edge it out for Tyler, my teammate who I taught, and I am incredibly fearful to play him one-on-one myself. So that's another factor. Good luck to both guys. Love you out there in paintball world, and enjoy the show.
That's where it was, dude. It never made it to air. I forgot my catchphrase. It was going to be Keith Brown going down.
Dude, I love you, man. That was great.
That is great.
Wow. Yeah.
Watch the video, too. It's funny how I opened it up.
Hilarious.
Yeah, you just sent it to me. I will definitely give that a laugh here in a second, dude. You kill me. That's so funny. And you're in the shop, too, huh? I see that.
Yeah, you couldn't hear the machine shop in the background.
We do have like this. We have a woodworking place next door that like has this huge I don't know what it is. It's like it like processes the sawdust particles.
Oh wow!
It's so loud when it goes on. Yeah. So if you're like trying to hear a leak in a gun, you're like, like you have to go in the bathroom and shut the door to try to find the leak.
You guys gotta buy like a big walk-in safe that you guys go into or something. Dude, that's hilarious. Yeah, man. The blue meanie does not miss on that. You hit it right on the head there. You hit it on the head.
All right, boys. What do you think? Should we wrap it up?
No way, buddy.
It's I mean, I could stay on this all day, but it's about that time, I think. I actually am supposed to do, because of Ryan, I'm supposed to fill in for Ryan right now.
Because of Ryan.
I'm going to do the Go Sports Tactics show with Maddie right now. I guess Ryan's internet isn't working, some excuse. Who knows? He's probably riding his motor surfboard.
Yeah, he's got a board meeting.
Yeah,
that's
board
right.
meeting.
He's in the ocean, baby. Al, before you leave, for anybody that would ever think about starting a business, what's some advice that you would give to them?
My advice is whatever you're going to do it because you love it. And I mean, if you look at a lot of these guys that, made the climb to be a great athlete, a great business person, a great celebrity, whatever it is, a great father, a great mother, you've got to love and invest your heart into what it is. And if you're able to do that, you're going to be able to win. Even if you don't make it to the top, that's the way you're going to do it. I mean, I was just listening to, an interview with this artist that I really like, and that's his thing. He loved doing it, and that's what it was. That was the foundation, right? It wasn't, I'm picking up my pen because I have to every day. It's because I love it. And when you love something, then you're gonna excel in it. And I feel like, that's what, obviously, guys like us that have made it to the top of the paintball world, albeit, as small as it is, it's still, we're here because we love doing it. And going out to the paintball field when you were a kid wasn't because you wanted to be the best even. That wasn't your driving factor. It wasn't, I want to be a pro. It wasn't, I want to play on the Ironman. It wasn't, I want to, get sponsored. What it was, I love it. And that's why I'm doing it. Yeah. And that's what you should do. If you love something, is try to do it. Keep doing it.
Do it. Dig it. Get it done.
You dig it.
You do it. Yeah, baby. And then, it's going to carry you through everything, right? The love will carry you everywhere. And like you said, you're not doing it because you have to. You're doing it because you want to be there, because you enjoy it. Absolutely, man. Well, 100%. Mr. Egg, sir, Eggward, King Eggward, we love you with all of our hearts, sir. Thank you so much for coming on Play the Game parentheses podcast. It's been
King
an absolute
Edward.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure, man. And we can't wait to see you soon. Give our best to the family and have fun over there at F1 headquarters. We'll talk to you soon, my man.
Yeah, much
will.
Love, Al. I can't believe you quit before the 3 minute and 1 hour and 1 minute mark. But I understand.
I had a plan that way. Actually, I was going to talk it up and then give him the win right at the end.
Yeah, there you go, baby.
Hanging on, right?
That's it.
It ain't over yet, is it?
It's not over yet.
Oh, let me sanitize.
He's switching ears. He's switching ears. Good.
All right.
And you got to tune into the YouTube because he just switched ears.
Fantastic.
And he's got the plug-in old school phone rocking.
I'm gonna have a little rice, little carbs here.
There you go. Your ear's gonna have a blister on it after this, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Eggman, we love you, dude.
Well, boy, love you too.
Thank you.
All right, buddy.
Until next
yes,
time.
Sir.
We'll be playing the game for real soon.
Yeah, baby. Can't wait. Peace. Later, bro.
My goodness, what a guy! What a show! Alex Fraige, ladies and gentlemen, he never disappoints. He's always somebody with a great sense of humor. Really fun to talk to, somebody I look up to, and he's just done so much for the sport of paintball and for both Tyler and myself. We love the guy, and so we really hope you guys did enjoy the show. If you did, you guys can head over to www.ptgpodcast.com. And, we got a bunch of merch on there. If you guys would like to support the show, you could become a Patreon. It's something we would greatly appreciate. We are committed to bringing you guys content nonstop as much as possible. And you guys are part of this movement. This movement is for you guys. It's for the players, by the players. And we just can't thank you guys enough for the continued support, all of the love that you guys have shown. We truly are just so greatly appreciative. And we are going to be here for the long haul. I know we keep saying it, but we want to keep re-encouraging you guys. Head over, check out the website. If you guys do like the website and maybe you need a website, Rusty Glaze, our coach, is the one who designed our website. He really did crush it. He, outside of paintball, this is what he does. He does web design for a lot of different paintball companies. You guys can check out his website as well, constantpursuit.com. But Rusty Glaze, the man behind our webpage, we would appreciate if you guys gave it a look. So other than that, guys, thank you for tuning in. As always, we look forward to seeing you guys very, very soon. All right, peace.